Right. Do we have sound? That's the big question. Do we have sound? Yes? Sound? Anyone? Cough, cough. Sound? Sound? Anywhere sound? Am I still in focus? Look at that, it saved my settings. Alright, yeah. I'm recording this. Is it gonna stutter? We'll find out. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Switch stuff. Danny Phantom. We have some thoughts. I have some input, some ups, some downs, mostly ups. I'm actually going to move some of this stuff out of the way. The camera, I'm going to be showing a quick test of a thing with you guys, and it seems like it's still on, so hopefully that will work. Let's see, I'll do a quick test with you guys right now, make sure it all works before we get into it, because it's been a little bit. Is it on? Are we Gucci? It is. There's a flattering angle. Do I look good? Okay, so we're live. Sorry, I just had breakfast. I know it's 7:37 p.m., but breakfast. Anti-Phantom? Anyway, so that's that. That's that. Just checking some stuff to make sure it works. I do wish that I knew if I had sound now. Pretty sure we're good. Pretty sure we're good. Okay. You know what? I'm going to check my phone real quick. I don't know what I did wrong last time. That's why I'm a little bit extra cautious. I'm trying to make sure this is good. Thank you for your patience. I swear I'm getting into it soon. Just want to make sure, you know? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Why is this not... It says I'm offline. That's not true. Am I offline? Okay. Do I have sound? Do I have sound? Why is it going into Bluetooth audio? What is it even connected to? There we go. Right. Do I have sound? I do have sound. Cool. Look at that. I did it right. I'm proud of myself. All right. So, thoughts, concerns, questions, whatever. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to try to help answer those. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at this, and I'll give you my thoughts on this stuff. After messing around with it for about 2 weeks, I guess. I got mine a little bit late. My dbrand screen protector, I think it said it was going to take 3 to 9 days. It showed up after 12. Luckily, they were very kind, and I did get some compensation. But I have thoughts on the dbrand, the situation. Not just the Joycons and that weird little lip, but also screen protector situation. I got some thoughts. I don't hate the dbrand case. I don't love the dbrand case. I'm glad I have it. But it definitely has some minor issues, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to be taking a look at that. Let's actually jump right into that. So this is currently docked. Again, I'm going to go ghost. I labeled it that to make it easier. Alternatively, hey, you know what? You can vote in the comments. We have that option. We also have this option. If you want to go like a little bit more classic, whatever. I just realized I'm facing the wrong way. We can fix this. We can fix this. Duh. Sorry, I'm not out of practice, but I'm a little out of practice. We'll lock that in like that. Hey, look at that. Is this better? Do you prefer this? Or is it better if I go ghost? We'll do corner for now. Okay, so let's talk about this. Currently docked. As I showed before. Oh, side tangent, because it'll be easier for my. So this, we have hello. you can see behind the third wall, fourth wall, just a little bit. But camera, I have it connected via USB, the USB cable that came with the Switch 2 Pro controller. And it seems like the video quality is as good as it would have been otherwise. Oh, my hair is like not looking good on that side right now, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But it works with the cable that came with the Pro controller. I would imagine that it's rocking. I wonder if it's a USB 3 or not. But anyway, it's working fine. I don't even... It's synced up pretty good, too. I mean... It's a little bit behind, but 10 milliseconds tops. Like, 20 milliseconds tops. Regardless, camera works pretty good. I haven't used it in an actual capacity yet. I've only done testing with it here, but, you know, it is what it is. Can I, like, look past the camera? Oh, no. Sorry, I'm just being a dum-dum. Anyway, test the USB camera. Here we go. I'm going to look past the camera. Can you tell I'm looking past it? Do my eyes look goofy? I'm also right up on the mic. So there's looking past it. They're looking at it. Looking over there. Yeah. Anyway, it's enough of that. Moving on. Okay, so we don't need this on anymore. We'll go back to here. So, Switch stuff, right? This. Wow. Yes, I know there's no camera connected. If you have it plugged in through the side here, like I did, when you dock it, it will just connect the camera. You don't have to put anything in this top connector here if you don't want to. I don't remember who suggested that, but it was a great suggestion, so I ran with it. Did some testing of some games. I noticed a couple of things. I noticed that with World of Final Fantasy, the game itself must render in 720-ish, because it scales kind of funny to this screen, actually. It's crazy how much this looks almost like an OLED. But yeah, it doesn't line up the pixel size quite like I want it to. So it looks a little fuzzy, or not how I want it to. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not integer scale. Like in words, I swear. I slept last night. Like 11 hours. It was this morning, but regardless. The thumb caps that came with dbrand's Killswitch situation, I do actually quite enjoy these. They're a little bit more, I guess, how do you say, rigid, I guess. Stiff, tall. There's like a lip. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, really. But I would prefer to have them than not have them. I know there was some drama about the lip on the back of this here. I'm not personally bothered by it all that much, but at the same time, I think I will get replacements if they're shipping them out. Because, I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is. Putting on the dbrand Killswitch case, I have thoughts. I also have a funny story for you. I had a friend who I handed them the Switch, right? And I'm like, hey, check this out. What do you think? And their initial instinct was to, what does this button do? And pull both of them at the same time. Would have been like a, oh, I didn't even do it right. The Killswitch case does make it harder to pull that off. That's funny. Okay, I get the complaint now. But anyway, it would have been like, ooh, drop. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're doing this in real time. No testing, no practice, no nothing. This is a point that I wanted to make here too, by the way. So, Pokemon Snap. When I first played this game, not beating it, I've barely started it, I was really unhappy with Pokemon Snap. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way here, y'all. When I first played Pokemon Snap, I was very unhappy with the experience. I'm not really the target audience. I didn't realize that at first when I did the whole thing. Pokemon Snap runs great on Switch 2. Looks good in handheld mode and everything. RIME, also, this game here. No updates for the game. Nothing that I can tell. I don't think there's any for Pokemon Snap either. RIME is playable on the Switch 2. It is not playable on the Switch 1. In my experience, in my opinion, it is so chuggy and slow, problematic even. You know what? I might even be able to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let me get it downloading. I'll have to switch cards. We'll do that. We'll do that. Let me get it downloading on the OG Switch real quick, and then see if I can give you an actual example of what I'm talking about. But let me get that going. Da, 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 da. I don't plan well. I find if I have plans, I have expectations, and if I have expectations, I get stressed. I have an idea. Mental rough bullet points. Okay, so let's go in here. I think I can just do it through here. Let's see. That's crazy. That actually looks so much like... Yeah, that is what it is. Okay, go into virtual game cards, I think. And me. If I have to sign into anything, I'm going to have a time. Oh, frame rate just dunked. If you see RIME, let me know. Look to the wrong camera. There it is. All right, let's download data. Oh, sorry, it was right in this list. Download data, download started, blah, blah, blah. And actually, since my Switch dock over on the side there is plugged into the internet, I'm going to just dock it. Speaking of internet, so I noticed that the speed on the Switch 2 in handheld mode is roughly triple what I was getting for Wi-Fi speed, which I'm all for. And then plugged in to the cable and everything, it's actually double that then. I'm getting... I wrote it in the comments in the description. In the comments? In my comments in the description, I wrote it down. But the speeds are astronomically better for internet in general, which is going to make playing online and whatnot with this a lot better, I think. Oh, hello, hello. I just saw you jumped in. Oh, you just jumped in. Cool, I didn't miss it. Anyway, so we're going to do some side-by-side comparisons of RIME, you know, as best as we can, as well as the cartridge swap situation. We'll see how that whole thing works. I also want to talk very briefly about the... I noticed that it looked a little funky, like there was a little bit of ghosting. Just a little bit, just a little bit. And I noticed that... It's hard to say. But let me rephrase. Let me restart. I think that the ghosting that's on this screen, which is, again, very, very minor, you will not be able to notice it here. Moving around sides. Maybe you can, actually. It's really subtle. A little bit of a frame linking behind. You know what? We're going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with the scaling here. You might be able to see what I'm talking about. I don't have a comparison set up for this at the moment, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Reduce this one. Red. Why is it red? No. All right. But it's... I believe the game is rendering in 720p. And so on this screen, although albeit bigger, is a 1080p screen. So the 720 pixels and the 1080 pixels don't quite line up. That makes sense? So it looks a little fuzzier than I remember, especially in the hub world. You'll see, you'll see. This actually kind of shows it pretty well. So, where's me? There's me. Yeah. It looks a little bit fuzzy, in my opinion. The camera's also going to make it a little bit fuzzy here too, which is why this is not the best example. But I'll also plug it into the dock. You'll be able to see it there as well. But it looks a little fuzzy, even to, you know, my naked eyes and whatnot. Then again, the screen's bigger. I can hold it farther away from my face. It looks less fuzzy. I noticed this. My friend Azure noticed this. Not a horrible problem, not a game breaker, not a deal breaker. Just something to note. Games that weren't updated might look a little bit more fuzzy. All right, now I can't remember what was I was talking about before. Oh, bummer, it doesn't stand up on its own. Need the kickstand. So, kickstand, kill switch case, right? I have a couple of concerns, a couple of compliments, a couple of things to say, I suppose. I don't like that this kickstand is stuck on with adhesive. I understand why it is, but I ever so slightly, and you probably won't even notice, but I ever so slightly got it crooked on there. You can't even tell. The lights are all funky wonky. Is that a thing you say? Doesn't affect functionality at all, but it is stuck on there, just for anyone who's considering. Something I noticed while playing is when I'm gripping this, my finger wants to rest right in that little groove that now exists, and it's not uncomfortable, but it is noticeable. I do notice that it fits right kind of in that spot where my middle finger sits to rest and hold the thing. It gives me a place to feel it out, but it also feels a little funky just because, yeah, there's a little bit of a slant here, but here's a hard edge, here's a hard edge, there's a slant here, but there's a hard edge between the actual kickstand and the adhesive as well. So there's all of that fun stuff. It fits pretty flush. These are stuck on just via friction, and it kind of clips over the front, which is neat and fun and fine and fancy free. The actual case here, though, the part that attaches to the console itself, there is a thin strip of adhesive along the inside of this layer here that makes it stick to your Switch. You don't have to use it, technically. I chose to use it. There's also replacements in the case for it. I don't love adhesive on my brand new system, although dbrand, of all the people that do adhesive, they tend to do pretty good adhesive as far as removal, not leaving a problem. Yeah, actually, that's kind of how I meant to word that. I noticed a couple of things as well. Okay, so, you know, while we're here, right, for anyone who might have not seen this already, for virtual game cards, if you were wondering, curious, not knowing, quick load, you can do up to 30 at a time to any of the switches, or you can fully dump all of them at the same time. I don't remember exactly how to do that off the top of my head. Oh, there we go. Eject all. There we go. I'm an idiot. Literally right there, screaming on my face. I started to do one by one to get all my carts over to this because they didn't automatically transfer from the OG Switch to this. So I manually started doing them one by one, and I thought there's got to be a better way. Quick load, you can do 30 at a time. Why 30? I don't know. There's 16 gigs of RAM in this thing. You should be able to handle it. Okay, another thing to mention about this, right? Back here. The grips. These, don't notice them at all. Not even a little bit. This part fits my hand very well. I like the way that it fits. I also even like that you can kind of still hold it with one hand. Feels a little bit less stable, like I can feel the magnet giving just a little bit when I do that floppy. You can actually see the orange right there, right? Yeah, there's a little bit of a... I'm not worried about dropping it, but I am definitely noticing with the extra weight that one-handingness is a little bit more risky. Worth mentioning. My friend Azurai, they hold their Switch and handheld no differently than I do, so how this fits in their hand does not feel as comfortable for them. If you play kind of like I do, where you have your finger, your index resting on here, you know, your trigger bumper, thumbs literally resting on top of the buttons and the stick, you know, not going over, not whatever. I find it to be comfortable. But if you sit more like this or more back like this, these grips may or may not fit your hands. I also have, and I know I've mentioned this before, I have kind of larger hands. Palms 4 inches this away and roughly this away. So I've got bigger hands. I don't know if this would be as comfortable for somebody with smaller hands. Just throwing it out there. But for me and my hands, I'm surprised how comfy they feel. I've not messed with mouse mode at all. Sorry. I don't have any stance on that whatsoever. But I will quickly just in the bottom. Up. I prefer mouse mode because I did quickly, like, what's the word? Feel how this feels. Oh look, just automatically, and then look, controller mode. Woo. I prefer the feeling of mouse. Wow, it actually stands up fine on that little... That's hilarious. So, it stands up fine on this rail, even with all that extra chunky weight over here, as you can see. Like, on its own. It's just standing up. That's cool. It feels better than I would have expected with this grip on. My middle finger is just barely touching the table with the skates on. Just the nail. But it doesn't... Only if I'm relaxing my hand. If I'm actually, like, you know, gripping onto the thing, you can see it actually here. So here, right? Loosely, the finger's going below the skate, gripping. It changes it enough to not be a problem. I probably am not the demographic for this, for mouse mode. I'm not super hyped on it, and obviously then they will not go standing up straight when you don't have the skates on. Check on the progress of RIME. I'm curious, but this is a pretty good example of showing you what the difference is between the two. I'm going to take a look and see how much farther over, if it's done on the OG Switch. Almost done. Almost done. We're almost there. Okay. Let me back into the internet over here. You know what? As much as I like this jacket, all these lights on, and the fact that I did a recording with GFI again before this, I'm a little toasty. Probably not going to stay on the whole time. You might see a little bit of a striptease. Hydrate or dihydrate. Love me my BPA-free water bottle. Okay. Here we go too with the dock, right? I have a concern, a complaint with the dock for the Killswitch. I have not been able to fully, properly test to see if the video out is exactly the same going through the Killswitch dock through this case here, but how it fits on there basically is, here's the dock extension, right? We have what kind of acts like the bottom of a switch on the extension, and it just slides in through the dock. Ta-da! It's plugged in, ready to go. This little doohickey right here moves forward and backward. You can see it, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit anyway. Hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. I'm already zoomed in. Okay. We're going to zoom in more. One more. 3 times. Okay, you can see better here now. This little guy moves back and forth, which is a blessing and a curse. It's nice to have some mobility when it comes to docking this thing. Pick it up like that. It does work, but you got to really be careful about lining it up. That being said, there is a little tiny notch. You can't see it from there. We go. Little tiny notch showing you where it lines up, and there's another notch on here. You can see it barely right there. Does help you line it up, but if the thing is too far forward or back, it does cause some issues with trying to line this thing up. I don't have any scratches on the bottom of mine yet, but I would imagine I will in the future. It doesn't just hook one and done like it did on the OG. Not to the same kind of degree. So there's that little lip in the back there. Blah, 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 blah. That guides it in. So make sure if you're putting the kickstand rubber on, not rubber, but protective stuff on, that it's on as straight as you can. Like I said, mine's on pretty straight. There's a little bit of a... My lights are all on, almost as bright as they go. It's still hard to see black on black. Just is what it is. Okay, so lining it up, going straight down, da, 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 da. Now we're docked. But let's say you lift up straight from here, right? As it's pushed back, we've got a little bit of wiggle going forward, a little bit of wiggle going back, right? Let's say you're going straight up, right? You got to use your thumbs to push the dock down, otherwise the whole thing's coming up with you, and I'll just demonstrate that in a minute. But then, trying to set it back down is, you've got to make sure you're going in the exact same angle, right? If you're coming from here, right, here we go. I'm going to pull up straight with my thumbs on it, right? And then try to go down like this. It's not gonna, because the little dealio's facing you now, you know? Yeah. So you got to go at it at a slightly different angle. The point is, it's not as effortless. It's not as one and done, down and whatever, right? Okay, so here we go with the other side of this whole thing. I'm going to scoot this a little bit forward for the sake of showing you how this all works. When lifting up with this, the whole thing wants to go with it, right? And actually, there we go. It's gonna it's gonna take the whole extra dock with it before it lets go. Just some food thought, I suppose. Let's zoom back out a tad. Better angle of all this, but yeah, I wonder if I can properly re-dock this with the thing. Look at that. I'm a freaking genius, mad lad, whatever you want to call me. It does fit in pretty well. One more gripe here. Hold on. See if I can pull this whole thing out again. There we go. Use your thumbs, push it down. Ugh. Now, with this on, it adds a decent chunk of thickness to it. So, decent chunk of thickness. You can see coming up over the top here. That extra, oh, I don't know, 5 mil plus or minus. But it now does not, let's see, let me show you this. It does not want to go down all the way. As you can see, I'm kind of stretching it a little bit more than I feel comfortable with already. A lot of dragging along the screen. Not a fan, doesn't fit. You have to use the dock extension. And like I mentioned before, there is adhesive along the bottom line of this whole thing. So taking this off and on is not necessarily an easy task. Rubber feet, gotta love it. Let's line you up again. Slot this. I almost cursed. I can do that, but I'm trying not to. Make sure this is lined up in a way that you can tell which angle you're coming in at. There we go. I imagine that will cause some minor damage with time if you're not paying attention to it. Again, I'm glad I have the dbrand Killswitch case. A little bit. I feel like it could have been almost as good if the Switch case was just a teeny bit thinner and still fit in the regular dock. Because now, I'm the kind of person who likes to have multiple docks. So I only have one right now, but for my Switch 1, I've got a dock in my studio right behind me over there. I've got a dock in the living room. I got friends who have docks. I can't take my Switch 2 and put it in their dock to play my games, multiplayer with them, couch co-op or something. I have to bring my dock extension as well, and that's just one more thing to bring, one more thing to think about. It's a little annoying. Again, not the end of the world, but you do have one more, again, hands down there. You have one more piece of tech, one more piece of stuff that if you're going to a friend's house and you're bringing your, cased up Switch, you've got to consider, right? All right, so now I'm going to do my best to show you the differences between RIME on this versus the other. And then we'll talk about the controllers and all that in just a little bit. I don't have any OG. I might have one OG Wavebird controller, actually. Gotta look for that. Know where it should be. We'll check later. But we're gonna check out RIME real quick. I'll do handheld mode because the dock is not forward and backward compatible as far as I understand. Although, I'm gonna test that. We can test that. I don't think it's gonna fit, but we can test it. Anyway, so RIME is now on here. Oh, update. System update. I don't even want to game anymore. I'm kidding, but I do understand that feeling. I will very often sit down to do gaming stuff, and it's like, oh, update, update, update. Oh, I have to update the game and the system. Oh, now the controllers. Oh, how about the dock? Let's update everything. Consoles are great for just, plug and play, get ready and go, but man, updates. Why is the Switch 1 getting so many updates? This is the third update I've had on the Switch 1 recently. I have no internet? Shouldn't have no internet. Now I have internet, but not good internet. What is going on with that? Let me check real quick. Because I need the internet. Ah, there we go. We're live. We're live. That took a while. So, RIME, show you handheld mode. Da, 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 da. Checking software can be played. We'll see what happens. I haven't messed with this. Da, 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 da. Current backup and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. So, I don't have the cart in there, and it's still loading up. Okay. Needed to check for the internet. But it did allow me to just go for it. That's a nice perk. Sorry, my screen's a little bit funky-wonky, but... Funky-wonky. Why did I say that now twice? Okay. Da, 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 da. Let me move my keyboard out of here. I don't need this here right now. Let's get in here. Tequila works. Does it, though? Okay. If this got a performance patch and I'm just, like, new or noticing this now, I'm going to be kind of upset. It does, the OLED does look really nice. Got to show you, I can show you where Fred was when he died, but I'll show you soon, not right now. Let me in. Why is this such a standard practice? Again, I'm now just complaining about stuff. You can see the PWM on this. Little greens and purples that's not showing up on the screen itself. That's a camera trick. They'll probably slowly scroll across the screen. They are, okay. So you can see there, the green and the purple, green there, purple there. Ooh, my hair, actually. But that's banding, OLED banding, right? Still loading. That's another big difference with the Switch 2. Oh my god, it loads stuff so much faster. I don't remember seeing this on the Switch 2. And again, we'll double check that when we get there. I'm going to try a whole bunch of different things. Dun, da, da, da. What color do my eyes look like in this camera? Still loading. How many minutes has it been now that we've been trying to load this game? That was on me, that last part. Unskippable intro sequence? Is it restarting my game? What is going on? Is this Link's Awakening? Come on, come on. This is Link's Awakening. But, I mean, it isn't, but... Hello? I started this game. What? Okay, whatever. And volume down just in case. RIME. It took a long time. We're still not even into it yet. Why is this taking so long? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna be patient. I genuinely don't know why that's taking so long. Can we move now? Okay. Come on. I'm already kind of fed up with this game, to be completely honest. This is way too long of a barrier to entry for me to want to continue to play. But, okay, we're going to look more at Switch 2 in a bit for the people who just showed up. I want to show you some comparison differences here, performance differences here. So, this game... God, I'm not at the intro. I don't understand why it sent me all the way back to the beginning. And it actually runs better than I recall. Oh, okay, so here's kind of the part of the issue I was telling you. Oh god, that chug. It's chugging on the video, not on my gameplay. But this here, watch. Press the button. Rolls a little bit after. That's kind of part of the input lag issue that I was having with this game to begin with. This does run smoother. That's crazy, though. Tap. I can let go before he actually jumps. My thumb's out of there before he actually jumps. Okay? Just for a baseline, for an idea. If I have to start this whole game all over from scratch again on another place, that's going to be very annoying. Oh, God, and it takes forever to move, too. Anyway, you get this kind of a bit of a gist here. This runs better than I remember. They must have done some updates since. Still not good. Let's see, actually, while we're here, if I can run it on both at the same time. Probably not. But we'll see. This has the game card in it, right? Ah, didn't think so. That's fine. Okay. Now we're on the Switch 2. Big old chonky boy. I hate unskippable anything. I'm not gonna play this game again. I'm just using it for testing's sake. This is annoying. Like, my time is important. I understand these people did a lot of work, but I don't need to see that every time. You know what I mean? So I didn't transfer my save file over. That might be just a this game thing. All right, volume down. It does sound fantastic. We might do a sound test. I didn't set up for that, but okay, notice the load times. Look how much faster that was. Load time example. Hooray. And then, in here, still a little slow there. Well, the roll's still slow here too, but the frame rate on the game feels a lot better. And I feel like I'm jumping 2 or 3 times as quickly as I did on the other system. Again, I'm really at the beginning of this game. I was so upset. I made it this far on the Switch 1 before I stopped playing it. Switch 2, performance is much, much better. It is much quicker with the jumping. Dodge roll still a little slow, but he also just does roll slow. Anyway, there's that. That comparison there. Ta-da. Okay. Let's get out of here. And then I'm going to start that striptease I was telling you about earlier. It's toasty as hell. Ooh. Oh, okay. Much better. Look, you can't even see the jacket. Ooh, it's a ghost. All right. Jacket can go on my couch. Oh, much better. All right. So we learned some things there. Now we're going to see. I know they say it doesn't work, but we're going to try it because we're here. Duh. Switch 1 on the Switch 2 dock. I'm wondering if with this extension it might work because maybe the compatibility was it didn't fit right before. We're going to try. Yeah, the jacket was quite warm. It was comfy. I popped more, but like, oh my god, it was getting warm. I need water, speaking of. Okay, we're going to test Switch 1 and a Switch 2 dock. 2 different ways. Let's pull my feed up first. All right. So, oh, you know what? I can do both of these at the same time. Hold on just a second. This one, let's change the opacity of this. Yes. Sorry, I was not fully prepared for this, but this won't take long. Color correction. Yes. We're going to go ghost on this one. Roughly 50%. Doesn't have to be perfect. Wow, I got it right on the dot. Cool. Okay, so let's see. If this breaks my Switch, I'm going to be so mad. Thought I heard electrical noise there for a second. It is charging. Can you imagine if the Switch 2, some kid makes a mistake, accidentally, whatever, just doesn't work? So I'm getting no video out from that. Does my Switch 1 still work? Yes, we're still powered on. Now we're going to see if it fits into the Switch 2 dock by itself. We'll find out right now. Not with Joy-Cons because the buttons don't clear. I tried to pull it off like the OG, or like the new one. All right, let's see. I don't like how that lines up, or doesn't line up. It seems that they've actually changed. Ah, There's a stopper in there. There's a physical stopper in the dock. Let me get my phone flashlight. So, in there, right there, that piece of plastic, we'll zoom in because we can. We have the technology. 3 times zoom. It's already 2 times zoomed, but that little piece of plastic right there, right in between the USB-C and that hump there, there's a piece of plastic that's going up pretty high. Let's see if I can get a different angle. But it has some height to it, and it is disallowing the clearance because the Switch 2 has a much thinner notch. It's about the size of the USB-C port. Sorry, Switch 1 has a thinner notch. It's about the size of the USB-C port. Whereas the Switch 2s, which now you can see my kind of shoddy alignment job there. It's not off by much, but it bugs me. But this is noticeably wider here. Since I'm literally right here, and they're both right here. Whoop, don't slide around on me. You can see the difference. So that notch right there is why the Switch 1 will not fit in the Switch 2 dock. Switch 2 might fit in the Switch 1 dock. I don't know if it would work. I would have to, again, take my dbrand Killswitch case off to find out. Or do I? Hold on. Let me turn off my flashlight. You know, I'm going to leave the flashlight on right now. I want to try something. I want to check something. Let's see if the Killswitch 2 adapter fits in the Switch 1 dock. I know this is not the Pokemon one. We've talked about this. I know. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Does this? No. Oh, wait. Maybe. Ah, okay, so there's little rubber stoppers in here, which I completely forgot about. It's dusty as heck in there. But these rubber stoppers here actually make it a lot harder for this to fit. But no, it doesn't seem to want to go down all the way. Thank you for the compliments on the jacket. Nice to see you, Sir Boatwright. Yeah, so this does not fit both ways, unfortunately. Or sorry, either way, unfortunately. There are I see. There's like an extra stopper in the Switch 1 as well in the back there. You can probably see it. Got a layer of dust on it there. Look, I'm happy for the dust now. It helps that show up. It does not fit both ways. We've now checked, we've verified. They are genuinely not cross-compatible in any way, shape, or form. That being said, let's adjust. Huzzah. This works for way more stuff than they would let you or lead you to believe. Let's do this again. I will show you what I am talking about. Let me just put some stuff away real quick. Actually, let me look to see if I have my Wavebird still. I know it's not a 1-to-1. I gave away my Xbox. Wow. My GameCube controllers to other people. But let me take a look. People who play way more than me. I'll be right back. If it's not right where I think it is, it's not in my house anymore. So let me look. Right, so I must have given it to somebody else. I do not have possession of it anymore, any longer. Right, let's, here's what I'm talking about here, right? There we go. That's going to add some scratches to your system, unfortunately. Let us, you know what? We can make this make sense. We're going to scroll this down. We'll put it in the far right corner. Not in the corner. We'll put it in the middle. That's a cool shot on its own, honestly. And we'll make this transparent as well, so that we have an idea of what all of this looks like. Don't need anything fancy for that. Opacity, see through as much as we can. See if we can get full 50% again. Hey, look at that. Geniuses. Okay. Let's set this filter opacity. We want full. There we go. Cool. Look at that. I'm getting better at this. Did it lose me? Oh, am I? Dang it, dum-dum. This can go on top. There we go. Haha. Opacity tricks. Look at that. Okay. Did I not fully wake it up? I'm a dingus. Woken up. And there it is. Okay. So first off, you can run in the hub, and I mean, since we had this up already, let's just do it this way. And can I? You know what? We're centered. I'm not going to overthink it. Right? This game, which I'm not like the biggest fan of, any game that doesn't use what is this even missing? This takes a bit into concern with a different game. Oh, can you hear that? Do I have audio going through? I probably can. Is it too loud? How was the volume from the game? I need copyrighted for this. Oh, okay. So don't take the input lag into account here. There is extra stuff happening. You know, let's turn my music down because we got the game on. And that should be fine. Turn it up. This looks real bad. It doesn't look this bad in person. There's a lot of factors to this. I'm not going to get into it. It does not look this bad in person. I will tell you that right now. But look, compatibility, right? GameCube controller, the new one. A button for that. I think it was speed jump. Ooh, this does not want to be playing here. You know what? I wonder. I'm going to check something real quick. I'm going to do a quick like Windows test sidebar dealio right here. Is my graphics card just on fire right now? Or no, it's only 27%. CPU's at 15. Memory's at less than. No, so it's not my system. It might be my software, but my hardware is fine. Game runs probably around 60. Anyway, this works. Let's do another one. Just quickly test. Ooh, you know what? Did I just completely not see what I'm looking for? Oh, that's a trip. Okay. Well, I did some testing. I swear I was actually trying to be a good boy. Are these just not in the right order? Am I tripping? They are sorted by most hours played. Okay. I forgot I did that. Updates. Am I right? Am I freaking right? I swear. I freaking swear. So we got a minute. What do you want to talk about? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, I ordered the RG slide. Couldn't help myself. I ordered the Retroid Pocket Classic. Couldn't help myself. And I ordered the Trim UI brick hammer in elegant green. Couldn't help myself. I think I'm back. I think I'm back. You let me know. I'm excited about handhelds again. That being said, the stream where I go through all of the handhelds that I have and I decide which ones I'm getting rid of, and then I'll post them for sale both on my Discord channel, which is linked below. Should be. And I'll also be listing them on the Retro Handhelds podcast once we get around, not podcast, on their Discord, once we get around to it. No signal. Is there DRM stuff with recording Switch 2 games? Did my system just fully power down? Let's find out. The light's still on, but nobody's home. Game is on. Is this my software, or can you not record? If that's the case, this is going to be problematic. I wonder why that would happen. Maybe it's outputting 4K. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt here. So let's do some troubleshooting here. This is part of what we're here for, right? So we're going to go into the system settings, and we're going to go into display. Yes. TV resolution. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, hold on. It was just working. I did some testing with it not long ago. All the way pressed down. We're all the way on. Let's try closing the game. I'm now feeling very gaslit. Thank you. GFI, my savior for another... Well, not for another, but my savior for this stream has how to stream or record Switch 2 gameplay as a link. Give me just a brief second. Up to 4K, up to 120. The RRs. Oh, you think it's going up to 120? Let's see. What you'll need. You know what? I'll show you what I'm seeing. We can do this. We have the technology. Let's go to window. Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, no, this is a good place to start. We're going to figure this out together. Let's add a window cap. And we will... well, you know what? We want not window cap. We want application cap. So we want... no, we want a window cap. Woo. Okay, let's see. What window is this one? We'll find out in a moment. Perfect. Okay, so... ignore the amount of tabs I have up. This is what we're looking at here. I'm gonna and then we're gonna scoot this over to the middle of the screen here, so everybody is present. I misaligned it like a dum-dum. There we go. Okay. You're not getting my cookies. No. So up to 4K, up to 120 hertz at 1080 or 1440. VRR is only available in handheld mode. I was going to bring that up, but I guess they beat me to it. Yeah, VRR does not work through the dock. Why? I have no idea. There are so many VRR displays these days. I've got 5 in the house. Anyway, onward. Capture card, 2 HDMI cables, blah, blah, blah. Here, yes. Switch to not your setup. Yes. Launch the software. Yeah, I think setting it to 60, because my capture card is the Elgato 4K 60. So I think if I set it to 60, it might play nice. But we'll do that. Yes. Okay, so my guess then, we're gonna quickly minimize this one. And then we'll actually, you know what, we're gonna leave that where it is for now, but I will show you what I'm talking about very briefly. Settings. I'm gonna go down to display. My guess is that this setting is the one we're having trouble with. So we're gonna turn that off. We'll see. We'll try that first. We'll try one at a time, and then see if ALLM does the trick. If that doesn't, but we were just recording, not recording, but we just did some stuff on this a moment ago. So that didn't do the trick. Why did it stop? Did I unplug something? Again, I'm feeling gaslit. Okay, we're gonna try that next. It just worked. Compatible software only. All right, let's try that. I'm getting really good at docking this thing. Let's also close and reopen my software here. Fascinating. It worked a moment ago, and now it doesn't work. Let's keep reading. Yes. LBS, video, base canvas. Common, yes. Interesting. So I scrolled down a little bit here, and we don't have the option to do this right now. Or, I mean, this right now. But we are scaled. It should be scaling properly. How fascinating. Okay, well, that puts a little bit of a damper on some of the stuff I was going to show you guys. How absolutely freaking wonky. Let us pray. Let's... Why are you upside down? Gotta love technology, right? Let's do a rotate 180 degrees. Hey, look at that. We're live. We're back. Weird. Very strange. I would have thought that either of those options would have done the trick, but yeah, still no signal in the background. I'm gonna try one more thing. Because it was very literally just working with RIME. I'm gonna try unplugging the dock. From both cables. And then reseating the extension. How absolutely strange. It was just working. I'm completely thrown off now. Okay. Confusing. Confused. Thoroughly so, in fact. Oh, that's so funny. My wife sent me a code for something, apparently, and she's on stream, so, let's see. Did I get something? What was it for? Oh, I see. Okay. Let me send her this real quick. I love you, hon. She hasn't, slept much, so this is a little out of character for her, but we got there. I love my wife, so you guys are all second to her. As it should be. All right. Cool. Am I still... That's so strange. My stream is still showing... It's so behind. Oh, God. You guys. She needs help. She needs my help. Alright, yeah, she does. She does appreciate me, and I appreciate her too. She's a funny one for sure. Okay, so, well, if that's gonna be funky then... you're fine, hon, you're fine. Let me send you this real quick. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I'm very confused. Let's move on then. I am a little flabbergasted. Not gonna lie. Let's put my opacity back. Or no, that's not even the right one, is it? Hold on. No, that's the right one. Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that really took the wind out of my sails. Okay, well, we have some comparisons here. I was watching a video of Austin John Plays, and he mentioned some differences with the Pro 2 controller that was causing him some issues. He had some lockup in his hands and all sorts of other pain in his hands. I can explain it to you very quickly. You should check out Austin John Plays' video. I will put the link below later on. But what he was noticing, and again, I've got, stick toppers on this and whatnot, but what he was noticing is for the OG Switch Pro, right, his thumb rests way over the buttons. Why is this so dark? Let's bring this back down. His thumb rests way over the buttons, and so does mine, actually. I can really choke up on this. Despite them being a very similar form factor, they're not the same form factor. It looks almost like a direct copy, copy, drop, and paste, whatever, kind of situation, but that is not exactly the case. The buttons are bigger, the buttons are slightly different. Here's the OG again. My thumb is reaching quite a bit over both of the buttons here. Stick, I have an extender on it to make it fit my hands a little bit better. I don't know if I need it, actually, on the new one, because it fits with my thumb. I'm pressing right. I need to work on my lights. I am sorry. I'm almost there. It sits and fits much more comfortably for me on the Pro controller. OCD is doing screaming things at me. We'll bring this back in frame. Waha. Anyway, so this here, right? It fits more comfortable to me, but I feel like my hand is more rotated outward, I guess, on this one. Why is that? I'm not entirely sure. But he was noticing he had some issue with trying to have to reach for this thumbstick more. And I will say, for me, my thumb fits right where the cap is when I'm holding it comfortably, much, much more on this. But again, like I mentioned before, I've got pretty big hands. So for me, this is like, a really nice fit. But this reach right here might be a bit much for you. For me, I'm not at a full stretch like he is. But if your hand is at a full stretch, you might have some issues long term. But for me, like I said, I have this extender up here to kind of make it fit more in line with where it would have been. This, without it, take the caps off real. Wow, look at that. I barely use this controller, by the way. I do not like the Pro controller for the OG. That's a fun thing to show on stream, but hey, this is one of the reasons why I don't like this controller. There's some plastic in this that makes a noise, causes issues, but wow, that got stuck immediately. Probably dust, but I keep it in like a dust glass case usually. Anyway, for this, holding on to this controller, my thumb is way, way over. I'm not on this knuckle. I'm way over on the OG. Worth mentioning, for this, thumb is resting much more. You can see it here better. Yeah, thumb wants to rest here versus, so, yeah, that's it's instead of being here like it is on the OG, it rests here based on the ergonomics of the new controller. Again, worth mentioning. Might not be a problem for you either way. I find the new one to be genuinely much more comfortable. I like the way it fits in the hand better. Again, after having some more time with it, I like the fact that the buttons are larger. We can do specific, what's it called, measurements to see what they are real quick if you're curious. I know I'm curious now. Whipping out the caliper. Not calipers, caliper. My wife is very, she works with tools. So, these are aftermarket buttons, but they're the exact same dimensions on the Switch 1. We've got... I realize I should have powered it on first. I'm a dingus. How are you on? Is my battery dead? I'm gonna be so bummed. Regardless, we can still use it. Okay, we have a measurement on the thing itself, right? So no power. We have 11.5 millimeters for this. We can zoom in, or you can take my word for it. You pick. New buttons are just over 12. That's amazing that they feel that much different and they look that much different, being only a 0.5 millimeter bigger. But they are 0.5 millimeter bigger. And I do prefer the way these feel, honestly. Just, again, worth mentioning. While we're here, I wonder if you can see any more of the differences that I was talking about with the placement of the stick and whatnot. I like the D-pad better on the new one as well. There's something kind of more rigid, you know what you're doing with it, that's happening here. Again, this OG one that I have was modified with aftermarket parts, but they are molded with the exact same dimensions. This feels closer to the body than the new one does. This feels like as you're moving it around, you are a little bit further away from the actual controller, and I think that helps differentiate a little bit more where you are on the D-pad. It's not by much. I would imagine it's probably like another 0.5 mil, but it's fine-tuned to be slightly different, and I think slightly improved, to be completely honest. I am noticing the molding on these buttons here, the seams on them. That line at the bottom of the A and on the side of the Y there. See what I'm talking about? Noticing the molding on those just a little bit. Not a problem. I can feel it if I'm feeling for it. The B is up on the top left corner. Where's the X's mold? Bottom right corner. Very, very faint. I can, if I'm really trying to feel for it, I can feel the mold there. Which actually brings me to another concern, question, whatever that people had that I was talking with other people about with the GameCube controller. I tried surveying people for this. I don't think I got much of a response for it. But my friend Azariah and I both noticed that the R mold, fine. No sharp edge right here whatsoever. L has a teeny bit of a molding anomaly, like it was misaligned by not much, but there was a slight bit of a raised texture on this. And my friend Azariah has the same thing with theirs. They checked and we compared them, we brought them over. Feels great. It's not a part you're really going to touch or feel, only if you're going back and forth over this, or if you're, you know, moving around side to side. Even side to side, you don't really feel it. No, not side to side. But if you're moving forward or back, you're going to notice, probably on yours as well, that there might have been a slight bit of a misalignment with the molding on this first batch of GameCube controllers with that L trigger specifically. Again, just pointing that out. Very subtle, hardly a problem. Wanted to point that out. Still annoyed at this whole thing. Honestly, I'm going to be probably calling it... Oh, there's my friend code, by the way. I'll only add you if I know you. Heads up. But, hey, if I know you... Kind of simple that. Okay. Well, I can still show you what I was talking about. It just won't be as good. So, here we go. GameCube controller still connected. Why it won't go through my screen, I will figure that out later. But I wanted to show that it does in fact work. Is that a hair? Am I tripping? Oh no, it's my camera cable or something, I don't know. But, other games work. Other games work with the GameCube controller. It does just controller things. I haven't tested it on the OG Switch, though. But we'll do a quick something. I've not done a single time trial yet. Let's give that a shot. Oh, what's up? I'll use you. I played for one day, and I have been so busy. Well, one day of this game. But I've been so busy. I have not messed with much. Where are we going to go? Let's see. Oh, am I going to play on my stream? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to play watching what you guys are seeing. And we'll see how this goes for me. Because there's some notable input lag. You know, we're going to start at the beginning because that's where it told me to go. Let's do that. Solo. No, I don't have a ghost, though. We'll race against their ghost. It's going to be tough. But yeah, I do want to show you that it does work. Let's go over to the left a bit. Don't need to be perfectly lined up there. 1, 2. Hey. Oh, God. Oh, God. Ooh. Oh, I'm already not off to a great start. That input lag is not helping. Oh, man. Oh, God. Where's the map? Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, that input lag is so bad. Oh, the recording. Discord. Why? Not Discord. Oh, my God. I can't even think. I swear I slept last night. Wow. It took so long to kick in. I use all my boosts. I forgot we're doing a time trial. Oh, no. Oh, God. The input lag is so bad. Yeesh. I'm surprised I'm able to get any of these drifts at all. I'm so behind. Yeah, no, I can't get my stuff going on. Anyway, controller works. That's the point. I'll do that later. Man, that's rough. Honestly, I kind of find the A here, B here for braking kind of natural feeling. So if you're Mario Karting, this is a great Mario Kart controller. I use almost exclusively GameCube style controllers for Mario Kart. Just in general, works great. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I have to mention? I haven't tried the Killswitch gripped case. That was weird. With regular Joycon, so let's give that a shot real quick. This is nice, though, how they just pull off like this. Does this feel absolutely terrible? Yes. Yes, it does. This lip here, my fingers all kind of hit it. Okay, never mind. It depends. If you're holding it like this intentionally, it's one thing. But I wanted to choke up on it a little bit differently, and it does feel kind of funky on the inside of these fingers here. I don't love that. If you're aware of it, you're bracing it with like tips of your fingers, you're fine. I don't love the way that feels. It makes the system feel heavier than it is, dramatically heavier than it is. Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you exactly where Fred died. So, Fred was, well, where's my microfiber cloth? Hold on. Got fingerprints galore now. What happens when you actually use something a little bit, right? So, with their screen protector, I initially had a Fred. And he was right about there. And y'all saw me try to squeeze him out in the last stream. If you want to check it out, I'll probably link it in the description below as well. But after just kind of pressing a little bit, squeezing it all into one condensed area, and then waiting overnight, Fred died right there. He's gone. Nothing at all. The second screen protector that came with the kit from dbrand ended up going to my friend Azurai. Azurai is one of my closest friends. So yeah, the screen protector is pretty good. The applicator is pretty freaking nice. Big fan, big fan. I was going to show you, just for the sake of we're here already, how to update the Joycons. That's not in there though, is it? Do they do it in here? They don't do it in here. That would have been cool. But I do have the controllers and update. These are up to date? They shouldn't be. Weird. Well, you do it here. I don't remember updating these second set here, but there we go. They also sent along a skin kit. I am not all about that life. I do not care for skins. Came with the kit. Kind of a cool box, actually. And I just realized I never even showed you this part. I also own Sea of Stars digitally. Just saying. But this is the cover. Kind of wish it had a stand. I think it might have a stand. I so far have a couple of physical games in there. Why those? Because those are the ones that I could find quickly. You can face them towards yourself, or you can face them out. Oh, I've got some battery life commentary as well, by the way. And again, any questions? I'm here. I'm here. So this goes in. Let's zoom back out again. Zoom in. Oop, I was already zoomed out. Zoom in more. All right. Behaves them on NS2 on this one though. Yeah, I mean it does look like it'd be pretty legit. This goes on like so. If they were to add some performance patches or something, but I mean it was a pixel art game. There's that. Unfortunately, I can't really play this like this. Bummer, right? But only thing that I notice in holding it like this is that this little lip to protect the trigger is doing its job, goes down a little bit further than the trigger and the button here does. But trying to squeeze your hand in here is a little uncomfy because there's like a lip of plastic. That being said, it's not sharp. It's a dull edge because you totally are going to be sitting and playing it like this. My one gripe about this whole situation, outside of the fact that this mechanism is kind of weird, I do believe that these are like Kevlar reinforced bands here. Very interesting way to do things. Is once you take it off, now what? This has to go somewhere. So it's going to go there, you know, like, or wherever. You got one more thing to keep track of. Obviously, Killswitch cases have been like this historically, but it doesn't like snap onto the back in any kind of a comfortable way or anything like that, which I knew it wouldn't, but I thought, you know, hey, maybe there's a way to do it. It does not cause you any issues if you go like this. If you're curious here also to see what the games look like if they're facing towards you, if you can see the titles through the case. I do not have any Switch 2 cartridges because I'm not about to go spending a bunch of money for empty key cards if I don't have to. I'm just not about that life. Not for me. You were curious? Yes, you can very vaguely see through the front of this thing. See what they look like. See the games. A little bit of backlight doesn't really help or hurt. Yeah. Sea of Stars, fantastic game. I also believe I own it digitally on here. I also have it on the Steam Deck. But yeah, fits on there nicely. Nothing touches the screen. It is intended to be used with a screen protector, but nothing on the inside touches the screen at all, which is cool. Yeah. They really should have put the games on the cards. They have more than enough space to, and yet they're deciding not to. They're deciding not to most of the time. I personally like to be able to see my games facing me when they're like this so I can tell which one I'm grabbing. Which Nintendo put art on both sides of the cards. They're so small. You might as well. I haven't licked this one yet. Or this one. These are both two of my collector's edition ones because I love that game. I'll lick Disgaea though. Could use some salt. Eevee any different? Nah, need some salt. Anyway, they, it's a nice feature to have these. I think if you really, really tried, you might be able to get 2 in one little spot, but then you'd be touching the screen for sure. Yeah, you can get 2 in there, but that'll touch the screen. Ooh, do I dare do it? I have a screen protector on there. I'll do it so you don't have to. Let's find out. Okay, you can fit 2 games in the slots if you want to, but you do it at your own risk. I would suggest if you're going to be doing 2 games in one slot, find a screen protector, find a microfiber cloth that is the size of the screen. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. Neat. To protect your screen a little bit more. I got the, what's it called? Screen protector, not because I was worried about the screen breaking, but because a plastic protector over a glass screen, the plastic is going to get all scratched up. I don't want scratches on my screen. So, glass screen protector, nice and scratch resistant. We can even test it with these really sharp, I'm not doing that. But yeah, you could really get away with a lot more and have that freedom with this, having the screen protector on there. I know there's a lot of people who like to raw dog, and I'm not one of them. Let's check out the kickstand. I haven't actually seen it in full extent. Is it worth using like this? Is it even touching the ground? Yes, it is. Ground, table, whatever. Cha, cha. Let's go through the angles with all y'all, because I didn't do that before. Does the sticky thing, the extra kickstand rubber here, does it make a difference as far as how the kickstand functions? No, it does kind of ever so slightly. Need more light. I swear I'm going to get that sorted. It does ever so slightly. You know, that's probably the best bet. There we go. Inhibit the motion just a tad. It's really hard to see. You know what? We're going to get my phone camera out again. Maybe I'll wear a headlamp. All my lights are low. Let's zoom back in again. Shaw. So, there's a very, very slight... No. We can do this. We can do this. Impingement point. Right in there. Very, very slight. And I can't tell if it's the extra kickstand bit or not. It's not going to make a difference. I just wanted to let you know. Part of the reason why I wanted to let you know is because, well, hey, you know, if you have a little bit of something and you know anything about physics, anything in there pushing this way, you're going to put that much more force on the actual joint itself, making it that much more likely to pop off. Food for thought. All right, does it affect the functionality whatsoever? No, it does not. The sticker thing works fine. Kickstand works fine. I saw a really cool hack, by the way. I don't remember who did it, who shared it. I think it might have been BotW. This car headrest, front seat headrest, and then this holding it up like a screen that you can watch in the back seat of the car. Genius idea. Love the creativity. Would not want to scratch up my original case, but with the dbrand case on here, you can always get another one. You know, you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, just throwing that out there. Long road trips, you got kids in the back seat. Put this over your driver head seat. You got a screen on the back of your seat for the kids. I did not come up with that. I believe it was either BotW or BotW was showing somebody who did it. But that's cool. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty neat. I like that. Nah, you can't put these on like this unless you're really gonna try your best to scoop it up like that. Again, kind of bummed out about that not fitting in. Ooh, I have not messed with this much. I'm just trying to cover all the bases. Any questions I think I would have had. I didn't play with this much in this mode in the meantime. But I genuinely don't think that this edge that I was talking about before is going to really be much of an issue. I would probably, though, keep my eyes out. In fact, I'm going to keep my eyes out for a third-party solution that these will slot into for a controller like this, because I really don't like how this feels. I would have wanted it to be a little bit bigger and not have this There we go. You can actually see that edge pretty good. This edge right here, I noticed it in my hand quite a bit. And even the Joy-Con itself, for that matter, has like a little teeny bit of a lip on it. No, they did not. Well, okay. As far as I understand it, after talking to Gaming for Insight, who's in chat here, I think he's still in chat, they said that they're going to be sending out replacement bits for people. I've not had issues, and like I was shown before, like, whoop, there it goes. It takes a lot of force to really kind of get it off of the thing. Yeah, not really all that much of an issue for me, but it is easier to snap it off. Ugh. So yeah, it's really hard to get it from this side, though, for whatever reason. This lip is not really in the way. But yeah, they're going to be sending out replacement stuff, as far as I'm aware, for, I'm assuming, just this part. But yeah, this little teeny bit of a lip here is pushed out just enough. Actually, kind of like what I was just mentioning with the kickstand, to give it that extra little bit of leverage, I guess, to peel it off a little easier. But again, like I was saying, like if you're not, I was not bracing the back when I was holding it like that. So that's not, I'm holding onto just the Joy-Con right here. And I was actually moving it up and down. Not a lot, but enough, more than I would have. While supporting it, you'd have to try to throw it. Like I'm really going for it while supporting it with, what is that, like that much support. It's not going anywhere. It feels like it's going to go somewhere, and if you try to, like, you know, huck it at someone, no, that's not going anywhere that way either. Just don't hold it by the Joy-Con and then flop it up and down real hard, because it will give eventually. But their replacements will make things better whenever those come out. I like this grip overall. I genuinely do. I don't think there's really all that many issues with it. I kind of like, honestly, that these are a little bit more recessed with this on, because then they're not so easy to just hit. And then fidgeting with them is a little bit more fun, because I'm not worried about accidentally pushing them. I don't know. It feels like there's more intention to removing the Joy-Con with the button. Ugh. There we go. It doesn't seem like it wants... Can I pull just the left one off? Let's try. I didn't push on the button. I wanted to. I really wanted to. Let's try, like, absolutely not. Yeah, you can still just pull them off. About the same amount of difficulty, I would say. Oh, I actually pulled the grip off. That's funny. Just a little. Just a little. Not enough to matter. That is crazy, though. Actually, hey, you know what? If you were worried about the grips coming off being just pressure fit into there, they really don't. I was putting a lot of force on that. I just noticed my little sticker for this is crooked, and that's upsetting. They both are. Challenges of OCD, am I right? I won't look at it. I don't have to look at it. Let's see. Is there anything else that I think is worth sharing, or anything else that you guys have any questions about? Focus. I hate that the flat grip is uncomfortable. Get one more. Yeah, it really isn't comfy. For me, I'm sure most people wouldn't notice, but even this, the lip on this is just, I don't like hard edges on stuff, you know? Like, what can I say? It's just not my vibe. So, yeah. Unfortunate. It's not uncomfortable. It's just, it could be more comfortable. Why did they make it sharp? You know, like, come on, y'all could have not had edges. Is that futuristic, or are we regressing? Hard to tell sometimes. Let's see, any other questions, concerns? We talked about the dock. Yeah, Steam Deck is fantastic. I'm a big fan. I've got 2 of them. One is in here. It actually, I haven't done a comparison of feel to the Steam Deck with this on or not. I'm gonna do that real quick. Thank you for mentioning the Steam Deck. So, oh, I do have, whoa, this one's dusty. I have not pulled out my LCD Steam Deck in a long time. So, Woo. It's got some dust on it. But how does it... Oh, man, the Steam Deck just feels so good. Man, okay. Also, dbrand sticks on this sucker, but... Does it feel like a Steam Deck? Was not the question, but does it feel like a Steam Deck? Makes me want to touch the screen here. No, but it feels so much more like a Steam Deck. This little lip right here is a real differentiating factor. If it didn't have this, it would feel much more like a Steam Deck. Throwing it out there. It feels more similar to a Steam Deck than I was expecting it to, and more similar to a Steam Deck than any other Switch that I've ever felt. Weight-wise, I wonder, how does it compare to a Steam... Oh my god. No, the Steam Deck is so much heavier, even with this case on. Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell you how much heavier it is, but the Steam Deck is notably heavier. Very, very similar vibes here, though. I have the, what's it called? JSOX case on mine. Let's try it without the case. Let's see. That'll be more fair, apples to apples. So... the Steam Deck is still heavier without the case. I don't have a scale in here, unfortunately. I could get one from the kitchen, but, yeah. I agree. The sticks on the Switch are, like, medium height sticks, medium range sticks, as somebody was recently putting out. They don't have a full range around, like the Steam Deck does. You see what I mean? This is like a full-on circle. There's more of like a depth to the stem. Goes down a little bit further. We can actually do a direct side-by-side here, even. If I can coordinate. Yeah, so... Oop. This is hard. Oh, this is like trying to rub your belly and jump and puke at the same time. I don't know. Okay, let's try just going top-down like this. Without blocking light if we can. Yeah, there's a decent amount more range on the Steam Deck, which will affect how it feels quite a bit. But I will say that the Switch with the Killswitch case on is much more similar in every way that I can think of that matters to... I was going to say something a little inappropriate. So we'll go with raw. To a raw Steam Deck. It's more similar to a raw Steam Deck than I would have expected. Just in general, we'll do a quick, like, I'll try my best to keep my fingers touching so we're not moving side to side. But, oop, as I hit the dock. Steam Deck is a little bit longer. Even with all that extra stuff. It still feels lighter with the case on than the Steam Deck does without it. So if you're comfy with the Steam Deck, the Killswitch case is pretty freaking close. It's a very, very similar kind of a feeling. Although I do notice it wants my arms to be more wide with this grip than with Steam Deck. Steam Deck is a little bit more straight on, feels comfy. Wider feels kind of funky. So, see what I mean about the arms, ergonomics and whatnot. A little bit more ergonomic on here still. But, yeah, this wants me to go a little bit wider. Oh, man. It's also dusty. I don't wear shirts often. Yeah, it feels good. I like it. I like it overall. I'm a fan. I was worried too that it would affect the speakers because of how much extra material is here. But honestly, it doesn't affect the speakers at all. Not in any kind of noticeable way. Again, I can't really do a real demo of it here just because, you know, limitations and whatnot, but it feels pretty good. I meant to mention this too, but this lip here on the edge, let me face it towards me. That'll be easier. Yeah, you can see it here, right? The lip here, I thought was going to be maybe a problem for the Killswitch case. And honestly, I don't even notice it. My palm feels it here because it's where it makes the most contact. But nowhere else on my hand do I notice it. It's pretty much just my palm, just on this edge here. There's a little bit of a lip here next to the trigger, or the bumper, I mean, but again, you can easily differentiate one from the other. They did a pretty good job. It feels pretty good. Yeah, this is the case. It's close, but it doesn't affect the press. You know what I mean? If anything, it helps me direct me to the bumper that much easier, because I can tell that this is a solids unit, and then that this is the bumper. Doesn't affect the trigger at all. There's no impedance or anything here at all. Does not affect this. Got a fun perk for you. Let me get my Steam Deck put away. Yeah, no problem, no problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help out. What was I just saying? You ever have a thought and then immediately it's just like gone? That's what just happened to me. Oh, I remembered. It's back. Okay. So, the creators, dbrand, they did a thing, and I'm quite happy with what they did here. But, Chargy hole. Top is open. The bottom is closed off. You could get in there if you don't put the little thingy on, the strappy strap. But, yeah. Yeah, I went for the Killswitch case because I didn't get a Killswitch case for the Steam Deck. And I forget what else they had cases for, but I didn't get one before. The Killswitch case kind of solved all my problems as far as the Switch goes. I know me. I'm going to buy more. I'll be right back. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know where the other one is, but I have a tendency to change grips a lot, wanting to try different various things. I don't have money, but I do have autism. Okay, so point is, I'm going to be most likely getting some more. I actually have 2 Satisfy grips. I have the Zelda one as well, but I really genuinely don't know where I put it. I also have 2 of these. I got the OG purple one of these, which has the left stick on bottom. Anyway, point is, I like grips, I like cases. I will most likely eventually kind of pick and choose with the Switch 2. Again, it kind of comes back to that little bit of gripe that I had with this one, is I don't like, there's a little bit of, oh, look at all that. Some of my camera stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I don't like that there's a little bit of adhesive on this, because it makes me that much more apprehensive to change it out. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, how is that? I heard it would change your battery life. Switch OLED and V2. You're talking about like the Nitro deck and all the other kind of like plug-in grips. They do drain the battery life a little bit, but it's not that much of an issue. My issue, since we already have it all here, I'll show you my issue with this bad boy here. And I know I've talked about it in dedicated videos as well, but there's 2 issues I have, one of which is switch goes on, light goes on, right? And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Switch to sleep. The light is off for right now. but it will turn on. And it will turn on enough to... I keep this in my bedroom often to play the Switch 1 every now and then. And middle of the night, light will just turn on, wake me up. It's kind of blindingly bright. And it'll just turn on and bug me and be a problem. And it'll do that every couple of hours, or not every couple of hours, probably like every half hour to hour. And honestly, that might be what drains the battery life. You can toggle it off in the back, but it only toggles off until it goes away, until you take it off, honestly. And then here's the other gripe with that, is you push the little lever, you got to get your grubby fingers all over your screen to pull it out. But it's not coming out otherwise. You know, so, I mean, win some, you lose some. Do I recommend a screen protector for the Switch 2? Yes. I just talked about why, but I will answer again. I recommend it because the screen protector that they have that comes with this is plastic. Jerry Rig Everything did a video on it, and the plastic screen scratched with almost no effort whatsoever. The plastic screen protector that's on there stays on there to keep the glass from shattering, but it will scratch really easy. So putting a screen protector on here, my nails aren't going to fuck it up. Aren't going to screw it up. I would imagine probably keys aren't going to screw it up. If you have this here get like mashed in on the screen. So wow, sorry about that noise there, if you heard that at all. But these little bits of plastic that are here, I'm sure if you have this on as intended and if you're pressing in on the center of this, these will touch the screen, these little plastic nubs, if you put like real pressure on it. I could feel the screen touching very, very slightly. That won't scratch it with the screen protector. So, yeah. Honestly, when it comes to screen protectors, I saw a video. I don't remember who did the video, but I saw a video of somebody with it was either an OLED Switch or a Steam Deck. They put the dbrand screen protector on, which I know is like $40, but you get two of them. They're easy to put on. You don't have to worry about bubbles, because like I said, Fred was there and he is no more. Completely gone. There's a little bit of finger goop from what I just did, but yeah, the bubbles, it lines it up perfectly for you. I wish I kept some of it. I had recycled the extra plastic. But I saw somebody put one onto a console and then smash it with a hammer. Screen protector was fine. The console broke, but the screen protector was fine. So my point is I think it might have been Linus from LTT. If you're not going to go with dbrand, because I do understand that the price for two screen protectors being like $40 is a bit much. JSOX also makes really good screen protectors. I don't know if they have any for the Switch 2 right now. But I'm going to put my music back up because that streaming thing didn't work. But if they don't, they will. JSOX makes a good one. It's a lot cheaper. They're also pretty easy to apply. And yeah. Oh, hello, Pandori. I think it's a liability. Oh. Okay. Bricking systems. We got to talk about that. I realized there's an elephant in the room that I completely forgot to talk about. I guess I didn't see it. I have a friend. We have a friend. I don't know. You probably saw him. Or do you know Scatterbrained? If you didn't, check out Scatterbrained. They used a MIG switch to see what would happen in their Switch 2. And now they have a brick. So don't do that. But we learned kind of how it all is affected, what happens, what you can and can't do. You can't do anything if they decide to lock you out. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. No, I know, but you reminded me, Pandori, about that whole thing. I have not seen bricks happen in any other kind of a way. I personally haven't really been keeping my ear to the ground too much with that. But I do have to say that the end result of being bricked, your console gets bricked. Your account does not get banned. but your system will be non-functional after that. So let me catch up with chat here real quick. Downside of the Switch 2 is storage space. They should have opted for an NVMe with a mini case. That's just my take. The storage on this is really fast. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Steam Deck. You know, Pandori. Yeah, the storage is pretty fast on this. I do not have an express card. I'm not doing that. There's personal reasons. I have too many Switch games, and in order to make my life easier, I realized I went into the wrong menu. Instead of adding in all of my games and having all of these on here, in fact, I think I even got rid of a bunch, which I'll show you how to do real quick. But I have it set to only have party games, stuff to play with other people, and games that I am going to play immediately. Ryan was here just to test. I'm getting rid of that immediately. I really liked the game, but I played it on Steam Deck already. I was just using it to compare left and right, and I am, again, kind of confused why I wasn't able to get this to play through the Switch 2 dock, despite it doing it moments earlier. Again, you'll see that back there. The 256 is definitely a little bit of a bummer, but keep in mind that's still, what is that? 256 is 5 times larger than the previous Switch. So, I mean, there's that. Decent amount of stuff you can still fit on there. This is, again, what's all installed on my system currently. With the 256 being, I'm going to tell you real quick. Hold on. I might have some pertinent information on here. No, I don't. But it still has 5.5 gigabytes left. So, I mean, that's something. It's a decent amount of space. Right, so getting rid of games, right? We're going to zoom in a little bit here again, I think. We'll go 2.5 times. We'll do some weird, not quite properly scaled resolutions here. To get rid of a game, you basically will just pick one in here, like Fortnite, for example. I'm probably never going to play it. I wanted to do some testing. I don't think I care. But what you do, options, hide, and then that game does not show even in your store anymore. So that's kind of nice. Doesn't show on your system. If you have like a demo, for example, or titles that you just never want to go back to because you're just whatever, to get rid of the choice paralysis, you just hide them. I do want to check out Fortnite out of curiosity. I heard that the Fortnite Lego stuff is pretty good, and I think you need the base game for that. We'll see if that happens or not. I'm not a Fortnite guy. That's just not for me. I played a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. That was kind of my era. Okay, let's see. If you could personally give the Switch 2 a score out of 10, what would it be compared to a Steam Deck, Switch 1, and the PSP? Of all choices, the PSP. Okay, let's do this. Actually, one of my buddies just picked up a PSP 1000. I think he said 6 games and some movies still in box, 2 chargers for like $100. Not bad, not bad. Anyway, okay, so if I could take the Switch 2 and compare it to the Steam Deck, Switch 1, they have their drawbacks. They all have their pros and cons. The Switch 2 is, well, it is just that. It is the Switch, but more. I mean, we can do a quick side-by-side here. The UI, like I was mentioning earlier, the UI is essentially identical. I don't like the slides and whatnot. We're going to zoom back out again just because I did that prematurely. Huzzah. Like, you're not getting that much of a difference with whatever, right? You have basically the same kind of UI. CC, same. It really is just kind of like an expansion on it. The OLED, the screen is better quality on the OLED. They picked a decent quality for colors, for contrast and whatnot for the Switch 2. The motion blur effect from, I can't think of the word. The motion blur effect from Oh my god, I can't think of the word. There's too many frames on screen at a time with this, so you're getting ghosting. There we go. Jeez. You know what? Just for that, I think I deserve to be ghosted just a little bit, so we're going to ghost me, just to be fair. We need to make this a thing. I mean, I messed up here. I messed up. Gotta get ghosted. Alright, we're gonna ghost me just a tad. There we go. Okay, so ghosting, right, is a little bit of an issue with the Switch 2. It's not horrible, it's noticeable. But like I said earlier, I think it might kind of be a perk. It might be more of a pro than a con. Because if you're doing frame gen, if you're doing DLSS, you're going to have some frames on the Switch 2 that don't quite look right. But having the ghosting will, in theory, blend it together a little bit more smoothly and kind of just act like a motion blur effect. I think it's going to work out in our favor to have that little bit of a blur here, and I do think it was an intentional choice by Nintendo to pick a screen that does that. So that being said, knowing that the screen quality is really actually pretty good, obviously it's right next to an OLED here, and like the blacks, the brightness and all that, they're not at full for either. Let's do full for both, just so you can see also the brightness here. Turn off auto brightness. We're going to go and revisit that too, by the way. So you don't want to leave this on auto full bright or whatever. It's going to look a little washed out regardless. You don't want to ever leave a screen on like that for an OLED. It's just for demonstration purposes for the time being. We're going to turn off auto brightness. Makes it immediately brighter. And turn the brightness up all the way. Still, you may note the contrast. Honestly, it looks darker on the Switch 2 than on the OLED to me. I think it's just because of the fact that this screen doesn't get as bright, but this looks really uniform. There's no backlight bleed on this screen, which is fantastic. Yeah, brain dead for sure. We had a busy couple of days. Yeah, it looks really good, I gotta say. Battery life is roughly 3 hours on an intensive game, maybe around 6 hours for not so intensive games, by the way. I should probably mention that. I'm going to set my brightness back down before I lose my mind. And I'm going to turn auto brightness on as well. That all being said, compared to the Steam Deck, I'm going to unghost myself now. Sorry. We're gonna that joke, the time is past. We're unghosted now. Compared to a Steam Deck, despite the Switch 2 being more powerful, more like a PS4 Pro, whereas the Steam Deck is more of like a PS4, not that much more powerful, but it is noticeably so. I don't care, if that makes sense. It doesn't make enough of a difference. The games are playable on both. I'm going to turn this brightness back down a bit too, because that was, whatever. It's not about the screen, honestly, for me. You know, I'm going to go even a little bit lower. I prefer it to be a little bit darker. Generally, I play it at night. I prefer the Steam Deck because of the customizable controls. I like the dual back buttons. I like the ergonomics a little bit better on the Steam Deck. I also like the trackpads. There's a lot of things that I like about the Steam Deck. So if the Steam Deck is a 10, the Switch 2, and I'm trying to really answer your question here. I'm sorry I'm getting a bit behind on chat. It is really like a Switch 1.5. I would say it's probably an 8.5. And the OLED, I would say, is... You can actually put this in your pocket. This is not going in your pocket, with or without the case. I tried. I put it in a jacket pocket, not fun. It pulls you forward, it's a whole thing. I would say the OG would be maybe a 7.5, the OLED. I actually am a big fan of the light. I left it in the other room. I would say the light is on par with the OLED for me, but for completely different use cases. I'm not going to get into that right now unless somebody cares and wants to get into it. And against the PSP, I mean, you can play, what was that, Final Fantasy VII, I can't even remember the name. Crisis Core on both, technically, but you get the remake on the Switch too. PSP would probably be, because I do like the pocketability and all that stuff. Some of the screens are better than others. Moddable, way easier on the PSP. PSP would probably also be close to like a 7, I gotta say. Yeah, no, I mean, giving you the real, I want to Switch Lite 2 so bad. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick. Let's check. Try the Steam Legion Go. Nice, nice. Love it. Wait for 32 gig RAM. Yeah, that's a lot of RAM. I don't think it really needs that much RAM. It is crazy to me. They put 16 gigs of RAM in this. God, I really almost said some bitch, but I didn't. They put 16 gigs of RAM in this, which is 4 times what the old one has. By the way, old one. This still feels pretty new to me, the OLED Switch. I know it's a couple of years old now, but it still feels new. So it kind of feels weird having these both existing at the same time, almost, in a weird kind of a way. Just throwing that out. Oh yeah, yeah. These are I know this one. There's a skull on their whole thing. Who makes these again? I know I've talked about them like crazy. Can't remember now. Oh my gosh. Skull & Co. Skull. Skeleton. Skull & Co. Yeah. So these are just stick-on buttons. I like the way that they fit. I like the way that they feel. I like the extra colors. It's also when I have a new friend who is playing Switch for the first time, and, you know, we're doing stuff with the controller like this, and they're like, oh, what button is what? I'm like, oh, the blue one. Oh, the red one. Press the green one. Makes things easier for everyone. Love those. I do like these buttons are larger as well. I got no real complaints about the ergonomics of the Switch 2, really, especially with this dbrand case. It felt a little funky without at first, I gotta say, but I got used to it quick. But I've always been that guy who got grips for everything. In fact, I have grips for almost every small everything. I have not tried Stubbs Nubbs on that. Let me see if I can find one. I know I have a set of them on here. Out here. So, oh, I do. Aha. Now we're going on a real tangent here. I got some nubs right over here. Let's see. Let's see. These are really, really fat heads on these compared to the OG ones. So these both have caps on them. Right? These have the dbrand official caps. These have the Skull & Co. rounded caps. But even these with the caps on are smaller. Why am I doing the whole system? These are literally detachable. Kind of a day. Okay. Even without the cap on, and this one with the cap on, the stick head on the Switch 2 is much larger. So just throwing that out there. I do not think that this is going to fit. No, not even close. It's like a crown resting atop its head. The stick itself, there's lighting. Again, a black thing, black background, hard to tell. There's no way that a Stubbs Nub would fit on there. There's like hangover on the sides. You can see it there. Yeah. That being said, these fit on really, really nicely. I'm quite a fan. My Switch 2 just going nuts over there. They go on really nice and easy. I don't even have to do anything funky with them like I do for all these other ones. I gotta turn them inside out. These just kind of press on and then press around the edges. And then whoop-de-doo, we're on. We're ready to go. Kind of neat. Now a nub on the Switch 1 Joycon. That will fit fine if I were to take off this, which I'll do it. Why not? We're here. Love you, Stubbs. Actually, that fits pretty well on here. Yeah. Cool stuff, cool stuff. All right, let's see. Sorry, looking for more questions here. Let's see. Friendly Ghost with Brain Dead. Looks loads better. Look at those buttons. Yes. Thank you for pointing those out. What's that? That's Kirby. It's Kirby. Message retracted. We had a retraction. Oh, jeez. OLED is still great, just struggles with some games. It really does. I did a quick demo of RIME earlier, which is why this was open in the first place. And RIME, it must have gotten some updates because it plays better than I remember. Ooh, a lot of light stuff. But RIME does not play as well here. There's some noticeable input lag, and then when you're in a busy area, it slows down dramatically. Same thing with Pokemon Snap, obviously the new one. It does not run as well on the OLED by a long shot, but I had absolutely zero issues with how things play on the 2. It's actually quite nice. Works really, really well. I kind of wish I would have grabbed my light. I know where it is. I can grab it real quick. I don't feel like we're going to be here all too much longer, but, you know, hey, if you have questions, you guys want to hang out, I got stuff to talk about. If we're hanging out, I'm hanging out. Okay, let's see. Yeah, shows some games. I don't like how some games perform the Switch 1. Yes, I agree. RIME stutters. It's way better on the Switch 2. Yes. Kind of regular Mega Drive or even the SNES D-pad. Those Switch D-pads are the worst for retro games. Yes. Yes. I really don't like these. In fact, the kit that came with these buttons, it didn't come with these buttons for both sides. It came with these buttons for one side, and it came with a stick-on D-pad on the other side. I had issues with it, but the concept is great. It didn't quite press right, because again, you're pressing on 4 micro switches, and it just was like a D-pad stuck over the top of these. It was better. But then again, you're trying to hand somebody this, and you're like, oh yeah, press the yellow button, whatever. Press left on the D-pad. Wait, which way is left? I just turned. We had complications with game nights, so I pulled those off. I tend to host a lot of game nights. Skull & Co. does sell something for the Switch OG. They probably will also sell something for the 2 that does something similar. You know, Skittles buttons and a D-pad cross kind of a thing. I think the kit for this one was like $10. If I see it, I'll make a community post on YouTube for this, and probably on Blue Sky too, because I'm on there a lot. I do not have Strive or any Guilty Gear games for that matter on this, but oh, Arceus. Oh my god, Arceus plays better on this, and it looks better. I don't know if there was a specific patch for it or not. I didn't download anything specific for it, but I might be able to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. I can do a back and forth real quick. Dragon Quest is the next one I'm going to be testing personally. I hadn't gotten around to it myself, but oh, and Borderlands as well, for that matter. I haven't tested it myself. I heard that it runs better, but it still has problems. Bulletstorm is unplayable here, but it's playable here. Still some weird kind of wonkiness playing in handheld mode. Play with controller if you're going to play it. Bulletstorm plays on the 2, does not play on the 1. It's such a bad input laggy kind of experience that it's problematic. Did I already pass Arceus? Am I just like brain skipping? I did. Okay, here we go. So this is what happens if you try to launch it without the cart, but you're also in your account. It'll still launch as long as it's not launched over here. Da-da-da. I really want to play Trails Daybreak. I have the first one. I have not started it yet. I really want to play it. Z-Fighters, I have not messed with it either. Oh, we're going to do this today. We will do a quick comparison. Wait, what? Did it? Oh, right, because my save file is on the other system. Huh. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this one, chat. We'll see. My favorite lesser-known games on this? I will tell you in just a moment, actually, because I do have some. But I hate unskippable stuff. Okay, we're going to go through and look at this for lesser-known games that I am a fan of. Because I've noticed that most of them, if not all of them, do genuinely... Why am I in system settings? Play better. I've not had any not be able to launch, although I do know that there are some that don't even launch on the Switch, too, from what I can remember. Okay, so lesser-known games that I'm a big fan of. I would have said RIME, but RIME has really jumped up in popularity. did delete some. I've heard really, really good things about... Where are they? Well, Chris Tales is actually a really cool idea as well. Yeah, well, okay, so for the expensiveness of the S2 SD card, it's as expensive as an old game card, and that old micro SD card was back when the Switch 1 launched, and it's 850-ish megabytes a second? I'm not sure. It's 10 times faster, and it's the same price as the micro SD cards were when they were brand new. So that is worth mentioning. It is a jump in technology. Again, RIME Physical, I didn't even know they made a physical, to be completely honest. Oh, Unsighted. This is a small team indie game. A lot of fun, very creative. It's one of those games where you wouldn't think you'd be able to do as much as you can, but it really does kind of open up. It's a very interesting pixel art style. How do you even explain it? Puzzle-ish game, kind of Zelda inspired in that regard, but not at all in the world. The writing seems really good. The music's fantastic. I would say Unsighted is a really good kind of hidden gem kind of game. Grandia, an old PS1 game, if you haven't played it, fantastic. There's this little game called Celeste. You might have heard of it. Strikey Sisters reminds me a lot of Fire Striker, which was an old SNES game, and I absolutely adored it. Strikey Sisters is not quite the same level of oomph, I guess. Are we going to do this? I don't think this is... This is going to be weird. Well, we're already halfway through it. Let's just do it. I'm going to be... I'll be him. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Oh my gosh, if you've not played Wizard of Legend, it is an amazing game to play with friends. Oh my gosh. Heck of a good time. Katana Zero is also an honorable mention. It's up there. It's up there. Boomerang Fu. I saw Smosh play this. I didn't think it would be that much fun. It is so much fun. Very, very simple. You got, like, I think up to 4 characters on a map, chucking a boomerang at each other. You get power-ups as you go. It's a very, very quick kind of, like, roguelike... not roguelike, roguelite multiplayer style game where you're thrown in there. You get level-ups as you progress, and you go round after round. You keep on getting more power-ups. You can trade some out. You don't necessarily get to plan it so much, but you do get some cool stuff. We're just going to be sad, because we are sad. Let's see, I'm almost done with this list, I swear. Dokapon Kingdom. If you like Mario Party, but you really hate your friends, Dokapon is the perfect game. Because it's like Mario Party, but the point is to screw over your friends. A lot of fun, though. Evoland was a mobile game that got ported to console. Absolutely fantastic. I think those are the ones that I would mention of the ones I've played that are on this system that are worth talking, that are not maybe as well known. Yes, I'm sad. Okay, let's see. I enjoyed Crawl. There was a game called Brawl that I got that was kind of like weird. It wasn't good, but it existed. RIME was on sale, $20. Red Dead Redemption's also great on S2. I believe that. I believe that. Anything that that struggled before, I think with just raw power, is going to run well enough. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, what I noticed with like World of Final Fantasy and games that aren't going to get updates is that, excuse me, they'll render at 720p, and 720p scaled up to a 1080p screen causes bad scaling measurements, and it will look fuzzier. A, because you're on a bigger screen, and B, because it's not scaling to the right size. So you're getting kind of like 3/4 of a pixel, or maybe not quite that, but it doesn't quite scale right. So things are going to look a little bit funky on some of the older games. So if you want to play Switch 1 games, I mean, Switch 1 still makes sense for a lot of people. But Grandia and Eastward. I have not played Eastward yet. I feel so bad. I want to play it so bad, but I keep on getting distracted. I'm in the middle of about 133 games on my Switch. And then Steam has, I think I'm in the middle of, I cut my list down. I think it's down to about like 40 games I'm in the middle of. And when I say in the middle of, I'm talking like 45, 2 hours or so. Grandia, on the other hand, I have not tested on the Switch 2 yet, but it had no issues on the Switch 1, so I don't think it's going to be a problem on the Switch 2. Same with Eastward. Again, pixel art, I think it would go really well. This is still doing its thing. I know I've taken some breaks, but my god. Come on, do the thing. Get to the game. I want to just like run around or scream at someone. Ugh. This was full when I started. And now it's empty. Sorry, that third one was not intentional. You probably can't even hear it. Did they make this run better too? No, I don't think so. It looks about the same as I remember. I played it on the OG Switch before, so this looks miles better. That's a good point to bring up too, though, by the way. Okay, the OLED screen, you know how people will say sometimes just upgrade your monitor, It makes a big difference having a better screen. The OLED screen solves so many of the issues of the light and the old LCD screen of the Switch 1 that it makes games look better on this, despite playing with the same hardware on the insides, for the most part. It's newer physically, but, you know, whatever. But it does make a difference. Yeah, that's a good call. It makes a noticeable difference because of the fact that this has way better response time. This has better contrast and whatnot, better input lag as well with this screen versus the other ones. That being said, the feeling on this versus the feeling on this as far as latency goes, they're pretty spot on, minus that little bit of, what's it called? Ghosting. I remembered again. I remember this time. I don't need to punish myself this time. But would you have enough? I doubt it. God, this is still going. You know what sucks about chugging all of my water is now I'm thirsty. I have nothing to drink. Balls. Pickle indeed. I'm so dyslexic that I will read license plates, not at all what they are, and it's kind of a problem. Yeah, I know what to do somehow. Just get through it. Okay, you know what? What can we do in the meantime? Let's boot. Oh yeah, FighterZ. Where did that go? I think I have it installed. I'm pretty sure I do. Who am I gonna pick? There's only one right answer in my opinion. I picked the wrong one last time. FighterZ. Unlocking the Switch 2 and Switch 1. Console. This one unlocks faster than Switch 2. You know what? I think you're right from my quick, memory of it, but we'll do a quick check on that. I think it's because of the fact that there's a lot more pixels being pushed and a lot more potential for better internet. I don't know. There's more headroom, yes, but there's also more stuff that they can do with this as it's doing things, so I can see that being a thing. Just do the thing. You're distracting me, Mr. Frickin' Arceus. Giving me trouble. We play one game on one system and one game on the other at the same time and have it not give me trouble, because I've definitely had it boot me from one game despite being a different franchise before. That's cool. It's not booting me. Immediately, at least. It shouldn't, by the way, but it isn't. That's cool. So, I think it's running fine on this. It feels so much more snappy. I don't know if it's... This is definitely... I love that I said definitely with the question mark in my tone. Like, yeah, this is 100% maybe. I'm pretty sure this is running at 30. And I'm not really, like, doing anything in the world here, but... It looks pretty good still. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it still looks pretty good. But I did notice that the textures in the sky and the textures on everything else looked a little bit cleaner on the Switch 2. Alright, so let's see this real quick. I know I'm doing too many things at once, but I'm having fun. I'm also feeling really bloated for some reason. It's almost like I just chugged like a half a bottle of water. Just almost, you know? This, on the other hand, okay. This might actually be running at 120. This feels better than I was expecting it to be feeling, to be completely honest. It's been a hot minute since I played this one as well, so forgive me if I'm not gonna, like, you know, go full-on fighting and going nuts out here, but... Alright, I honestly even forgot where the practice area is, so give me a second. Let me be reminded. There we are. Right area, wrong side. Okay. Training, just me. Take a quick look at the way that this feels. It feels markedly better. I have her on PC. I'm not buying her twice. I beat this game and then set it down. It feels so bad. And I have not put nearly as much time on the Switch 2 as I did on PC. So, again, there's that whole thing. You know, we're just going to go rando. What a list. Okay. We're going to... Rando. I'm going to get stomped. Rando. It feels better. God, I don't even remember the buttons. It's been so long. Give me a sec. We're getting there. This loading screen was a real pain in the butt on the OG. Wow. That was like less than 10 seconds. Okay, so this is 60. Because I can still see some frames in between. Or I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is 60. And it's a smooth, solid 60. Yeah. This feels good. Wow, it might be just the screen that makes it look less than 60. Or, sorry, not less than 60, less than 120. I do believe this is 60, though. There was not a 120 in the code for this. I don't think it scales on this one. Looks clean, though. I mean, you see what I'm seeing. Press the wrong button. Yeah, no, that looks smooth. There's no issues with that on this at all. Yeah, okay, neat. I wonder, since I have Arceus in on this, let's see if we can do the Steam Deck trick. Settings. Hold on. Can I disconnect my internet in here? I think I should be able to, right? Hold on. Let's clear settings. Yes, we'll sign in again later. I'm not worried about that. Okay. So, cool. Internet is now disconnected. Let's see if we can do this whole thing. Cool. Looks like it's working fine. If you're not connected to the internet, you can play the same game at the same time. What do you know? I remember this being a thing from before. Never really actually tested, though. This is a nice perk, though. Just disconnect one from the internet, and you can play 2 games at the same time. But yeah, look at that skybox. No, you can't do this. Nintendo, don't find me. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get to the same kind of general space here. It's very, very similar, it feels like. I cannot confirm nor deny anything, but... Oh god, we're doing a cutscene. Yeah, I don't know anything about the firmware on these. I know that they're not the same number of firmware, but they're very similar. What did that just tell me to do? Did it just stop me to tell me to investigate? I was not paying attention. I do not remember. But this looks so crisp. Like, I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing here. It's so crisp. And this has got to be 60. Or a stable 30. Hard to tell. It's a VRR screen. It could be anywhere in between, and I wouldn't be able to really tell you. But like, there's depth to the skybox that I don't remember seeing before, and then even textures on certain mountains and stuff. Like, let's see if I can get back to that area. Right? It's not the right time of day. I never finished this game either, so I took a real big long break from Switch stuff. I do feel kind of bad about it. I think it's this way. And maybe by the time I get there, the day will change. Jump into the river? No, of course not. I totally am going a big roundabout way. But yeah, there's no issues that I have with how this plays on this whatsoever. I'll be less vague. How Arceus plays on the Switch 2 versus on the Switch 1. Oh, look, you can see me. Can't see you, though. It's the right door? I think it is. Okay. I'm gonna, like, make camp in here and just... some flowers up close. That'll probably give me a better idea. Also... Oh, hey, check this out. Nice plus. Turn off auto bright. All your button mapping stuff can be in here if you want it to be. I could have just put it in airplane mode. I'm a dingus. You live, you learn. Right, so these are the same kinds of flowers. Let's see, if to my eye, like honestly, this screen is such nice quality that it does look very similar to OLED in a lot of ways. Yeah. Just pixel peeping now. You don't really need to do this. But the rock textures look better on the Switch 2 to me. I want to see if I can get to the exact same place, though. Hold on just a moment. Let's see, let's see. I'm heading this way. Be easier to tell, like, for a side-by-side if we're actually side-by-side, you know? Look at that. I haven't played this game in 6 years? Has it been out that long? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, that rock. Oop. I wish it was daytime, because it does make a difference, but I feel like there is slightly more detail in... Oh my gosh, the trees. Okay, so the trees here look like trees rustling in the wind. Here, they look like polygons brushing past each other. You see what I'm seeing? Tree. You see what I'm seeing there? This is a pretty good example. Like, you can see it if you really look on this one. There, we're getting daytime now. But here, you can see the obvious clipping. I hadn't checked to see what the actual differences were, what they look like in person before this. I'm finding this out in real time along with you guys. I just knew it looked better on the Switch 2. So again, that looks like tree to me. There's not like nearly as much of sharp clipping. And again, this is scaled up. And then on an OLED and whatnot, here we go. Be lucky. That same tree, you can see the obvious clipping. The rock textures look about the same up close. I will say that it looks more... What's the word? Natural to my eye, I guess, on the 2 versus the OLED. Also, if this doesn't tell you how big my hands are, that's just one of my hands. Yeah. Let's look across the mountain real quick. Yeah, check that out too. Okay, so the mountain range, I feel, is a little bit more smooth and rounded looking. This again looks kind of like sharp textures to me, like angular. I don't know how to explain it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know. It looks better to me on the 2. A lot of reasons, a lot of examples as to why. I hope that kind of helps explain where I'm coming from on this. What I'm saying with this is it. How long is the day-night cycle on this? I don't remember. It's been a hot minute. Weird. Anyway, switch. Want to see something crazy? Oh yeah, thanks for joining. Sorry, I'm also heading to bed soon myself. I gotta be up early tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff to do. How is it already 10? Oh, good night. Have a great night, Joe. All right. This button. Look at my chunky boy. He's sleeping inside the rock. Lovely. Okay. Let's ungrab you and a little off topic. Throw him right here. He's still sleeping. Okay. Look him up. Look at my big old boy. Day-night cycle does not move fast as I want it to. Let's do... Actually, you know what? More apples to apples. Let's get you back in your ball. Spinny test. It looks great in person. And then spinny test here. No, I just feel like there's like a depth to this that's missing. Despite the OLED screen, which makes a lot of it feel a lot better. There's just a depth to it that's missing. In my opinion. Indeed, indeed. It feels more responsive too, despite... Okay, so the power of the Switch 2. This is my hypothesis. I'm going to sum this up. The power of the Switch 2... Not focusing. Feels like the leap from an LCD to an OLED to a degree. Maybe even a bigger leap than that. But the power makes up for the difference. The input lag is not the hardware inside of it. The input lag is the screen, and even still, it's minimal. It feels very, very similar from initial push to an OLED. You see what I'm seeing? Yeah. Anyway, there's that. I'm going to play this on the Switch 2. I'm going to finish on the Switch 2, especially since I'm not trading my save file back and forth like a crazy person. I think I have FighterZ on here as well. I could do a quick feel test on that, give you a better idea of what it is I'm talking about. Let's see if that will just load like it should. Another update. Neat. Okay, let's do it. That might have been one of those games that was updated in the meantime. That being said, we're gonna go back to this and might as well do a side-by-side if it'll let me. 5 minutes? I'm plugging this into the internet. We're gonna do something else in the meantime. That should help. That Stubbs nub back away. I just realized I left that out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so while we're doing that then, Oh, if you have not seen the difference between Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition, it is a stark contrast as well. Even this UI just looks really clean. I believe the homepage runs at like 120. Could be wrong. They usually tend to run at the max speed. But you can also see a direct representation of the battery life drain, right? I've been on the stream for 2.5 hours? No, it's, I had it on the dock for a little bit of it, back and forth. It's pretty good. I know I mentioned before, battery life was like 3 hours when playing something more intense, maybe a little bit longer. If your battery life does not show what you feel like it should show, or if you feel like you get down to like 1 or 0% and it feels like it has more time to go and do its whole thing, I showed a fix on how to fix that I learned from beat 'em ups. It's in my previous stream on the Switch. I'll link it below. Yeah, below. After the fact. And I guess while that's doing its downloading thing, I can show you guys how nice this looks. I was playing Master Mode. I have checking whether it can be played, but this irks me. I have the game cart installed on this, right? So if you go into virtual game cards, right? Oh, does it not connect if I'm not connected to the internet? That's upsetting. I am very, very not okay with all of this stuff. This always online BS. Software and DLC. The game card is on this system. The game card is on this system. It has been booted on this system. What they're telling me is if I'm out camping and I want to play this game for whatever reason, despite having the game card present, I cannot play my game with no internet. That's how I'm understanding it. You think it's going to break my stuff if I do this? I don't like any of this. I'm feeling nervous, like I'm going to lose my save file. Which, by the way, I beat on the Wii U, so this is just a master mode that I am just barely into. I did boot it once with internet. I did. This is my not first time booting it on this system. In fact, I have not booted it on any other system since, and this still has my game card. It says that I can play it, which we'll find out what happens here, you know? But the fact that it does the check at all is frustrating. I get this check all the time, even with the game cart. I'm purposely, as you can see, not connected to the internet right now, because I'm curious. We're testing some stuff. We'll now start without the upgrade pack. So it's the upgrade pack that won't let you play without the internet? Why? You can't play the game with the upgrade pack without the internet. Or with, yeah. What? Let's just make sure I'm not crazy here, right? I'm reconnecting my internet. We're going to test this in real time, right? Internet. I'm going to type in my internet stuff. You don't need to know it. Let's do this one. Connecting. My mustache crooked. Okay, we're connected. We'll boot it. I hate that it feels like it has to check. I swear I booted this already on this system. I'm really at the beginning still. I jumped in and then immediately started panicking and just having a bad time. Okay, so we're in it at least. Hello. Indeed. Okay, wow, that is such high freaking frame rate. That is nauseating. It looks so clean. It's so strange. Again, I played this on the Wii U when I beat my first playthrough, and I have not played it since. This looks amazing. It's insane. I would almost say that this is running at 120. I think it might be. It's somewhere between 60 and 120 for sure, I'll tell you that much. It looks really good. Okay, so now we're going to see what happens. Close. And we're going to do just airplane mode this time. That's not the right thing. Airplane mode. You kidding me? Huh. I wonder if it does a soft check. Or if it just needs to be checked every now and then, because that is very strange. Okay, so I'm going to try cutting my internet off again. Same way I did before. Right? OG Zelda was a good time. I was never good at it, but... Okay, so now it's powered off. We're going to dump my internet settings and see what happens, because I know I played the Switch 2 mode before. I magnesised a iron plate, whatever, above my head, dropped it on myself, not intentionally, by the way. I hit something, it clipped, knocked me the frick out. Internet settings, we're gonna dump this and see if it does it again, because if not, that was just a really weird glitch. We're going to clear settings. Oh, yeah, I always only play in handheld. I only play on a TV if I'm doing a party night and I'm with other people. I even played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U gamepad. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so we're back here. Internet's been dumped. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen here because... Yeah, why that was so weird. Regardless, what happened there happens to me all the time when it comes to having to check the internet to play anything. And it's so inconsistent that I don't know what I did to make it... What's it called? I don't know what I did to make it not... to have to check again. You know what I mean? Did I play a different game? Is that what it was? Let's try that. No, because that would have also given me trouble. So then why? And yes, I did play on a gamepad. I had a great time with it. There's a little something in that thumbstick. You probably can't even see it. Oh, yeah, no, there it is. Little tiny little speck of something that I feel like just dropped into that. And now it's gone. Cool. Problem solved. Game's been launched. Let's close it. Let's end this saga off properly. Will it just work this time? It just works now. Okay. I don't know why it's removed the right to play the game in the meantime, but it's back now. So whatever. We're here. Let's see how far this is along. Cool. Oh. Soft break. I doubt that. Although if it happened to anyone, it would be to me. Let's see. Did I skip it again? I swear. My brain there. No, a different Zelda. My brain. I did skip it. My God. I'm ready for bed real soon. There, I went right over it. Okay. Game Kart's not here. No. This makes sense. I should play my games more. Okay, do I have a dongle handy that I can plug this sucker in with in the meantime? I don't think I do. Download options, download this software first. What's the timing looking like here? I don't want to wait for downloads. I don't want to have you guys have to wait for downloads. I might just have to come back to this in a bit. Hey, I'll look for my dongle real quick, but before I do that... Ooh. I think I know where it is. And I was wrong. Put on my camera here. Dongle in here? No. No. Not dongle. It's very not dongle energy. Where did I stuff this frickin' dongle? I have lost things in my hands. Let me look at my top drawer here real quick. Nope. Oh, actually, I know where one is. Because... put it up there. We'll see if it's still there. Hey. Okay, let's I just closed this to open this. Whoa. Okay. That's cool. Let's do this stuff now real quick then. Beef nut. Again. We'll get this thing downloading. Unfortunately, my cable's really short, so it is what it is. The download speed on the OG Switch is abysmal to me. I think I was getting like 64. I almost said gigs. Megs a second? Megabits? I'm tired. This is canceling out, crashing out real soon. 6 minutes remaining. Even while plugged in. Lovely. Okay, I'm not going to wait 6 minutes to just wait to talk about things. I wonder if I can boot World while I'm in this mode. It just goes. Okay, cool. Okay, so it was just that one time that was causing me issues. Indeed. Nintendo 64. Yeah, okay. I think I'm probably going to call this one. Just because nobody wants to be... Now that it's further along... Right, wrong camera. It says that 7 minutes left. I think I'm going to call this one here. Thank you for joining me. It's been a blast. If you have any other last-minute questions about the Switch 2, let me know. I wanted to do more side-by-side comparison, but it seems it's not in the cards for today. The Switch 1 is just having its time. Now that it's 37% done with the download, it says 8 minutes remaining. How's that happen? No idea. We'll have to see what OG Mario Kart stuff is on the world. Outside of that, no, have a nice night. So what do you mean specifically? Because I might be able to help you out. It's a completely different, like, what's the word? Everything. It's so snappy. Yeah, I don't think I know what you're talking about, unfortunately. I feel bad, Pandori. Yeah. Wow, it's so bright even still that it's, like, not showing up. Oh, because auto brightness is not on. There we go. There it goes. Oh, the old stages. Yes. Let's just do a quick versus race. My brain, like I said, I'm a little bit off right now. Why do I have so many that I haven't done yet? Oh, these are just costumes. We'll be Luigi in honor and respect for. And yeah, that makes sense. It's fine. Wait, is that a... I haven't even done this yet. That's just a random option, huh? No, it's not. It's a new one. Random would have been nice. The baby characters suck? Really? I have mixed feelings on them. I don't use them. The lightweight makes sense to some degree. You kick up pretty fast, but let's see. We're gonna do we have 200 yet? No, not yet. The comm is aggressive. Let's see what hard looks like. That's fine. Okay, so where are we looking? Because I actually don't remember the SNES tracks. I didn't play the SNES stuff. Let's see. This one here, yes? Or is that slightly different? Because, I mean, if this is what you're looking for, I'll happily do a race. Doesn't look like it? Okay. No. DK Spaceport, Troopa Beach. I do have a slight gripe here, which is there should be a list option in this kind of a setting to be able to go through them quickly and not have to go around. Peach. I wish my friend Jay was here right now, because they'd have known these instantly. I wonder, this looks kind of OG. Oh, Mario Circuit, here we go. This look familiar? I think this is what we're looking for. Yeah. Oh, then you can go to other tracks from here that are in a list. I see. Okay, we're gonna do this method. Okay. Cool. All right. I don't think I've played much Mario Kart in handheld. Am I going to the factory? I'm so confused now. Did it not pick the first track? Oh god. This looks so clean though. Out of my way, suckers! The comm being on hard makes me feel extra nervous right now. Oh god. Almost got a head-on collision right there. Oh yeah, this is a multi thing. How about we don't and say we did? Oh, jeez. I almost got into another head-on. That would have been hilarious. Oh, I did it early. We're fine. I made it out. Oh, well, destructible environments, I guess. Didn't even realize that. Sorry, I realize I can't really chat while I'm doing this. Ooh, out of my way. Aha. Front flip? Yeah. Side flip. Back flip. I don't know this track at all either, by the way. I feel kind of bad. Flippity. Ooh. Oh, I just jumped over the boost. That's lap 2. Okay, okay. Cha-cha-cha. Oh god, this is making me feel really unsafe. Oh! I also don't really use the gimmicks here much. Why? But oh, I landed right on the skippy one. Oh. I mean, I gotta say, even against hard comms, this is not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Oh, I should have held on to that banana. Ooh. Ah, I missed it again. That's fine, though. Yeah, this is more like stages. They've done that kind of thing a couple of times. Yeah, I like Mario Kart. Oh, speaking of Tony Hawk, I was expecting more of a performance boost on what's it called? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, honestly. Oop, that's not it. Wow. I just saw dark and I'm like, oh, we're there. I was expecting more of a performance difference on Tony Hawk 2, or more of a graphical uplift just in general. This was recorded in like 15 FPS. That looks terrible. This is also like 15, 20 FPS. Nintendo, this is for you. Yes. Yes. Correct. No. Can you imagine? Why have a handheld, Nintendo? Why have a handheld that you could take to somewhere that doesn't have internet? I'm going to stop there. That is a new issue that I have not had yet. Starting a game, getting into a game, and then, oh, hey, yeah, you can't do this now. What? I hate to say it, but I genuinely don't think that I'm going to be buying any consoles, like new consoles, moving forward after this. I will buy a PS6 or 7 if my 5 ever dies, just to have a Blu-ray player in the house and all that fun stuff. But with the state of how things are going, where you don't get your actual games physical, where you have to have internet connection to start a game in some cases, or to play a game, it's not a gaming future that I want. These kinds of issues should not be happening at all. I typed in the wrong password for the wrong internet thing, but if I want to lower that Switch 2 score, it's not the system that's the problem, but I do agree that it goes in with the whole system. But the Switch 1 has the same issue, I'm sure of it. Give me just a second. Let me type in my internet stuff here and see if it will boot from where we left it. Or if I have to restart the game, just out of curiosity's sake. But yeah, I don't like the future of gaming. I genuinely am not a fan. Okay, so we're back into this. And now we're able to boot the game. So now I'm curious. Airplane mode. Will it let me go here? Because I've played this game before. It might have a check-in, like, after a certain amount of time. Is what it is. It might have... Oh, it's been a week. Turn airplane mode off when you can, it says. That's interesting. I know this game has some online functionality. This is not every game, but more and more games are getting online functionality thrown into them. Why? Because you can. But not being able to play the game because of internet stuff? If I was away from internet, I would not have been able to play Breath of the Wild. I would not have been able to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater. There was another game that it checked, I think. I could be wrong. Despite having the carts on here and having offline modes for all of the above, I would not have been able to play 2 out of the couple of games that I was testing today. But yeah, I thought it was going to maybe up-res it just a little bit, but no, he looks like looking through drunk goggles still. Y'all, this is just a stream of me and Tony Hawk hanging out. Up, Tony? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it does run better than I remember, but it doesn't look that much better. Let's just do a little bit of my favorite old track. And what did I give it before? I gave it a 8.5. I'm going to take off half a point for that. For sure. The frame rate's not improved on this. I think the game was set to run at 30. Yeah, I figured a static would do some stuff here. I'm noticing a lot of shimmer on this. Sorry, I realized I wasn't really in frame. I'm noticing a lot of shimmer, so I'm thinking it's one of those situations where it's rendering in 720p. So you'll notice, like, for example, on the rail or on shadows, you might see some stair-stepping or some white on the screen. Let's just come over to this, and of course I'm on the wrong side. There we go. You may notice, not from that close. Is my camera inverted? It is. Okay, so here you can see it. It's not stair-stepping well, and I think it's not stair-stepping well, which is why you get all those little individual jaggies and stuff going along here, these individual things. Because of the fact that I believe the game is rendering at 720p. And what it's doing is, at least as far as I understand it, trying to put a 720p image on a 1080p screen. And it's already stair-stepping as it is, because it just is. It's really more distracting on the Switch 2 than it is on the OLED, in my opinion. Because the OLED is a 720p screen, and that 720p screen is representing the 720p image, so there's no improper scaling going on. But some of these games that were not optimized, it's genuinely kind of a little distracting, because it's every single straight edge, which back when these games were a thing, it's like every single, hold on, you can see it here too. Whoop. But well, maybe not as much for you, but every straight edge that you see, or that I see, going on those ramps, the lines with the panels and everything, it looks like there's the shimmer going on every straight edge. So everything feels kind of warbly, or like you're looking through a filter to a degree, if that makes sense. Now I'm curious. I wonder if the stuff actually finished on the OLED over here. Do I have... Well, one is almost done. I wonder if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Again, this is one of those situations where I have the game, but I have the game on Steam. So I play it on Steam. Frame rate just dipped. It's going to boot me out of the other one. Oh, no, it won't, because I'm not online on that one. I'm in airplane mode, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me in. Let me in. So the stair-stepping with the shimmer is going to just look like stair-stepping on this, as far as I understand it. But yeah, he still looks like mosaic face. Honestly, it almost looks a little bit better on this one here. About the same, though. We will go into the warehouse. And I will see if by that bar I have that same issue. We'll do a quick check. But this will be a good way to kind of show you what I'm talking about if... Yeah, not crazy. There's still a lot of shimmer on this. Yeah, so here it looks like stair-stepping, which you'll see, should have faced it. Yeah. It still has the stair-stepping, but it doesn't... it's not shimmering as much. Yeah, the ramps aren't shimmering. Cool, but a big old stutter right there, though. What's this? Collectible I didn't notice before? Is that a Gumby statue? Stop. Turn. It was a collectible. I smashed it. So I'm not seeing the shimmer here, except for, like, at a distance. So if you look in the background over there, you see the lines between the ramp. There's a little bit of a shimmer going on. On the Switch 2, I'm noticing them a lot more, but, like, everywhere. So here, it's, like, only around the straight lines and the ramps that I'm seeing that shimmery stair-step issue going on. And it's not nearly as distracting. So, yes. Let's retry it. I'll see if I can get to... pause this in the meantime. Roughly the same spot. So for me, I'm noticing the shimmer here on the windows, on the ramps. It's much more kind of happening everywhere. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, especially like over here in this area. While moving, everything looks a little bit more smeary. This is showing a little bit of that motion blur effect that I was talking about earlier from the screen not quite having that... it has that ghosting issue. I keep on saying the wrong thing. But the ghosting along with that shimmer there, it's actually genuinely distracting on this. So I might not be playing this in handheld mode all too much. But again, on pause... It's not as noticeable here to me. I'm not entirely sure why, honestly, because I do see it. When I point it out on the other system, I do see it. But shadow is probably going to be a good example of it. Okay. Let's go over to that shadow, see what it looks like. No. It's fine. The shadow's fine. It might just be the ghosting causing the shimmer to look more pronounced on this. I tried to do a backflip like a Mario Kart. I don't remember the commands to do backflip in this right now, but yeah, it's not going to break the game, but it is more distracting, I guess. Oh, that was a bad mistake there. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, you know, honestly, that stair-stepping kind of effect is why I think the PlayStation TV did so poorly. I swear, this went back. This was almost done. Somebody go back in the footage. This was almost done. I swear. If it's downloading the Switch 2 edition on this as well, because it can, oof. But yeah, it's subtle. It's really subtle. Airplane mode might be saving me a lot of trouble. Now it's done. Okay. So, here, let's do the thing. Will it boot with the DLC in airplane mode? There's that thing I was talking about. This one's different, though, because this is starting with the, without this special mode. Why? Why is that a thing? Well, we'll see what we can see without the upgrade pack to see if there's an upgrade without the upgrade pack. And then I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, man. Okay. It's going to go to the same spot. I forgot I chugged my water. Okay, so I can say right off the bat that this is not as clean looking as it was with the Switch 2 upgrade mode. By the way, I'm recording in 30 frames a second, and there's a lot of processing going on my system, so it is not going to look as good. And then running video of a screen that's running at a different refresh rate while recording in 30 frames a second, it's never going to represent, you're never going to see what I'm seeing. But I'm trying to give you an idea with commentary. This feels practically identical, and honestly, without the Switch 2 upgrade, it looks better on the OLED to me. There's not a performance boost that I can tell with vanilla. Maybe it's a little bit smoother, a teeny bit smoother. Yeah, doing a quick, no, it's more consistent of a frame rate. There's no dips. There's no dips on this. Yeah, I don't see any dips at all, actually. That's kind of impressive. Versus... for stutters, I guess I mean to say, but... let's see. Oh, that's not magnesis. That's also not magnesis. Oh, God. Okay. My brain. Okay. This would cause chug. This still does cause... well, it's actually not that bad. Okay, you know what? It's not dipping nearly as bad as I thought it was going to. I haven't noticed anything that's like, you know, exceptionally bad on the OLED. And now we'll see if this just feels a little bit less chunky. And again, this is just the, this is how I killed myself the other day. I was doing this and I just missed, and it came down and landed on me. Camera speed, all sorts of wonked. So it's... if you're gonna play this on the Switch 2, get the Switch 2 upgrade is my 2 cents. Yeesh. I almost just got flattened. Whoa, what? I clipped right through that for a second. Anyway, yeah. That's a bummer that I can't play the Switch 2 version while not connected to the internet. I don't understand why that's how that works. But, I wonder if it will immediately boot me. Let's find out. but it doesn't automatically load up Nintendo Switch mode. Can I wonder if I can... I've already purchased it. So, okay, title screen, let's see. I think I have to fully shut the game down to do this. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. So now let's see if it does the check again now that I'm connected. I hate that. But it's just for the Switch 2 version. Just for the upgrade. How weird. Yeah. Is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to bed real soon. I just wanted to quickly do the thing. Wonder if I can boot it and then disconnect. Let's see. Oh my god, this is night and day. Holy crap. It's so much cleaner. It's so much smoother. It's so much sharper. Yeah, of course. Thanks for sticking around. This is amazing. This has been great to have people jump in, even though I've been gone for like a year. Yeah, this runs so smooth that it is actually kind of a little uncanny. Oh no! Oh, okay, I got away. Okay, so let's try. Okay, it doesn't just immediately kill the mode if we go into airplane mode, which means we have one more thing to test. Oh, just a software update. Yeah, let's do it. So now there's a clash in my saves, but I'll just know that this one is the one that I'm going to keep. But yeah, now we can see more directly what it looks like, I guess. Whoop. Pivoting point. Man. Can you see the difference as clearly as I can see the difference here of how smooth this looks? I'm gonna drown. Oh no. Get me out of here. I didn't realize I was by water. I forgot that we lifted that up. Right. Well, I'm in water now. But yeah, it's astronomically smoother. No hitches, no dips. The frame rate is at least doubled. It might be quadruple, or somewhere in between double and quadruple. Like I said, like it says, it goes between 60 and 120 for a lot of these games, and has that VRR on there. I accidentally did what I was trying to do here. Let's move. Oh no, okay. We're fine. Activate. Uppity. Down. Move. Ooh. Up. Can I make it out? Cool. Yeah, the upgrade's worth it. That is unfortunate finding out that there are certain limitations with the internet that I was not anticipating. The DLC being one is very strange. That being said, I still think the Switch 2 is kind of... It's for a couple different kinds of people. The Switch 2 is for people who want to play Switch 2 games. dbrand case is a nice addition. Not necessary. I do like it. I do prefer it. So it's meant for people who want to play Switch 2 games. It's meant for people who want a bigger screen, but it doesn't always make visuals better, in my opinion. In some cases, like as I've noticed, it will still do the old Switch rendering. Most games aren't going to get updated, I would imagine. Most first-party games probably will be updated, but most third-party games like Tony Hawk or World of Final Fantasy and all that stuff, they're probably not going to get updated to have any kind of performance boost, some of which will run better just because of the extra power, some of which will still have that scaling issue and have that glitchy stuff. So people who want to play Switch 2 games are going to want to Switch 2. And then people who want slightly improved performance But if you want to play Switch 1 games, I think with some of the limitations here, with the internet stuff and whatever, I think that the Switch 1 still has a place. Most things look pretty good. If you're going to get a Switch 1, get an OLED. The OLED really makes up for a lot of hurt on the OG. And then my brain is skipping out. I had 3 examples when I started, and then my brain dipped out. I think I gave them all, but I labeled one as 1, and then one as 2, and then a third one as 2 the second time around. But I don't remember what I said. It's been that kind of day. I do think that it is worth getting if you want Switch 2 games. Sorry, if you need Switch 2 games. The performance is fantastic. It's about a PS4 Pro. It is noticeably better at some things. It looks great in Arceus. I wouldn't have expected it to look that much better, considering I don't think there was a patch for that. Yeah. It's also really hot in here, and my brain is starting to just mush a little. So I apologize. The mushify is over. If and only if FighterZ just ended. Okay, we're gonna do one more quick test, and then I'm going to bed. All right, so we'll see if it does the same kind of an issue with that doubling. What is even shining up here? Is that my? Yeah, it is. Okay, I need to get more. Okay, see what we get. Wish I had water. One's so hot. I'm gonna take my pants off. We'll see. You won't see it though. I will. Wow. You okay here, Mr. OLED? That was the actual boot time. It was a first boot. It was a first boot in its defense. It did the same thing, failed to initialize network. That's fine. Offline lobby is what I wanted anyway. Yes. That's kind of nuts. Where we're really going to notice the speed difference is going to be in the load times to get into a battle here. Okay. Let's do that real quick. I wish I would have hit these at the exact same time. That would have made this a little bit more helpful for some people, but yeah. Okay. Them loading times. I'm taking my time here, too. This is, like, noticeably slower. Okay, so let's see. This is 60-ish. So the other one must be 60 to 120. Okay. We're just gonna go rando. And same. And rando. Same. We're gonna have a time here. Wow, it doesn't even show up at the same speed. Like the actual... Oh. That's nutso. It pops up immediately on the Switch 2. Takes a little bit to load up there. Okay, so I'm gonna go... You know what? For the sake of being consistent for this, for loading the stage, we're gonna pick the same stage. Okay. Exact same time here. This is showcasing just the new internal storage speed. Oh, wrong button. There it is. Oh, I'm way too far away. So, I mean, it's way faster. Okay, so that was a pretty sizable difference there. Let's see how it feels in comparison, one and the other. The actual in-game... Oh, no, it chugged a bit there. There was a teeny bit of a dip there, and I felt it. It's not running as high of a frame rate either, it feels like. Yeah, it definitely has... This is really hard to pull off on a Switch. A little bit of a hitch on that boost, I wonder. Okay, hold on. What? Swap me out. No. It seem to be hitching in the same kind of ways. It's very, very slight, the hitching on the OG, but it is noticeable. There's no hitching on the Switch 2 at all, that I can tell, at least. So yeah, that being said, if you need that extra performance real bad, Switch 2's got you covered. This is... I wonder... It feels like in-game, this is trying to hit 60 and can't. And this is hitting 60 without breaking a sweat. That's what it feels like. That's what it looks like to me. Menus. Whoop, that's not how you get to the menu. Trying to lobby. Should have done that one first. Oops. So we're going to be waiting here for probably about 10 minutes if this is indicative at all. This is running pretty smooth. Seems to be the case kind of across the board that it'll run just a little bit better on the 2. You're looking for a side-by-side. We're going to do a little bit of that right now. I'll turn the brightness back up on this just a teeny bit, so they look a little bit more similar to each other. No, I turned it up too much. I think too much. Yeah, we're not going to get it perfect, but doesn't help that the character is a little bit stop motion-y. This is not something that you'd ever notice or care about in real-time playing. Again, I'm just trying to get like a feel for the feel. Yeah, I feel like it's hitting the full 60 on the OLED on this, and I feel like it's going a little bit higher on this. I can't guarantee it. It might just be that there's no drops. It might be like 55 on the OLED and then or something like that, but it's negligible in this. It is smoother, but I couldn't tell you what the frame rate is. It's not that much of a difference. Anyway, that was my final test that I had planned for this. Obviously, I've been here for a while. I hope you have a good night. I'm going to figure out why this would not record the second time later on. Lining up those notches, getting this on there. Here we go. Killswitch, dbrand at Delio. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. There will always be more. There will always be a next one. Thanks for sticking around with me. I'm exhausted. It's hot in here. Good night.